Hey guys, Noel here, and it is Monday night, and I have a little bit of free time on my hands. I am actually a bit ahead on my schoolwork, and Monday Night Raw is something I no longer enjoy, so let's do a live stream. We've been having so much fun doing these, and I don't want to, overkill on these so you guys get sick of them, but, I thought this would be a fun time to do some live streaming, playing some cool, semi obscure Japanese video games, and talking to whoever is interested. We are once again broadcasting through Prism Live Studio. I'm still getting the hang of this app, so hopefully all goes well, and yeah, we'll have some fun. We had some requests last time for certain games, some requests on what are some anime OVAs that I recommend. Some people have been curious to see me draw live, and I figured that if you guys are interested, if people show up, those could all be things that we do. And if no one shows up, it'll just be like a regular YouTube video where I just play and give commentary. So, without further ado, let's get down to playing some games on the Xbox One. This starting off will be Street Fighter 3, the Third Strike, considered by many to be the best Street Fighter game. It's highly aesthetically pleasing and really does a lot in terms of introducing rap music to the Street Fighter series and does it very well. Rap and street culture are definitely things that are associated, so I think it only makes sense that Street Fighter 3, with its main character based out of New York City and the whole concept of, like the gritty street, starts introducing some very cool rap music into the mix. It's highly possible that we might play some other Street Fighter 3 games, because as much as I love Third Strike, I think that the aesthetics of New Generation are actually even better than the aesthetics of Third Strike. So let's get to it. We've got the Xbox One screen up here. We'll turn the volume up a bit. Hopefully I can see comments here. This program seems to be doing much better with comment registering than the previous apps I was using. Now, of course, since I don't have 1,000 subscribers, I'm not allowed to stream directly through YouTube, but I actually think that this app is a bit better because it has a lot of interesting things you can do on it. And if we, decide that we want to mess around with some of those things, we can. But I actually think there's a thing where I can even draw on the screen through this app, which is pretty cool. I am going to hit the lights, and I will be right back. Okay. Let's fight for the future. Adjust our camera just a smidge. One reason I really was disappointed in the re-release of Street Fighter 3 for its online edition is that it cut out this opening, and that annoyed me to no end. Because I love the figure drawing sketches, I love the gestural drawing sketches, I love the character designs, I love the music. So this is fantastic aesthetic packaging here, and Street Fighter 3 is just not only notable for its beautiful gameplay, but also for its amazing artwork and style. Choose and pick the best one. Get it on now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm best with Ken. I am tempted to be Alex, who is actually my favorite character canonically in Street Fighter 3, but we're going to go with Ken because I can play the best with him. Let's get it on. So Necro is very cool. Necro is a kind of a hybrid of Dalsim and Blanca, which is just as cool as it sounds. Another nice thing about this game and the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection is you get the very, very nice wallpaper here. This is actually a digital copy of this game, which I downloaded on my Xbox One because my PlayStation 3 is in the living room, and my son and I love playing Street Fighter. And I have a lot of these Street Fighters separately on different consoles, but this is just a very convenient way to have them all in a one spot with a very high quality 4K connection. So I also want to, support new Street Fighter releases. The wallpaper is nice. These are the arcade versions of this game too, so it's always cool to get the arcade perfect experience. Now, in some cases, the console versions actually offer more in games like Street Fighter Alpha 3, but, it's still really cool to have the authentic arcade experience. And we're going to fight Alex, who seems to be wearing a nice 1970s lapelled shirt and what appears to be a sweater vest. So good for him for mixing it up stylistically. Alex always very cool because he is the synthesis of Hulk Hogan, Terry Bogard, and Hager. So, and he's very soft-spoken, which I think is interesting. It goes with his, it makes a nice contrast to his gruff exterior. As he avenges his Jean Reno-played stepfather here. Darn it, did we lose already? Is looking at the stream. It looks like no one's here, which is fine. I'm just, always kind of cautious because last time, one of the last times I did a live stream, I couldn't see comments, and so that's always got me a little spooked. If people are here, I'm happy to chat with them. I was actually watching a Wrestling with Gaming live stream last night. I was kind of in and out of it, and he was playing the Philips CDI, which is one of the few consoles I don't have. And I mean, the main reason to get that console is the video game version of Thunder in Paradise, which is one of my favorite shows. If you like professional wrestling, if you like Baywatch, and if you like Knight Rider, then you need to watch Thunder in Paradise, because it literally is those three things combined, and it's fantastic. Hulk Hogan is a Navy SEAL. He fights his pro wrestler buddies. He is his sidekick is Jack Lemmon's son. JT from Step by Step occasionally appears on the show. It's just fantastic. Darn it. Let's be getting all excited thinking about Thunder in Paradise here. Show Ryu rape. Did I just show you a rape off? Yeah, I did. It's the only, I don't know. I don't think it's like a bad thing about Third Strike, but you're limited to one super move, whereas in Street Fighter Alpha, you have every super move at your disposal. But it kind of adds to the strategy. You know who I've been thinking a lot about recently? Q. Because I've been playing Street Fighter 5, because Santino tends to like that game quite a bit. And there's G, who is kind of like Q, but thinks he's the president. Or he might be Q. I don't know. It's one of those mysterious characters here. And so I thought it'd be fun to play as Q here. Because both Q and... I rarely play as Q, so I don't really know much of what I'm doing here. Fighting Chun-Li. You know, it'd be really cool if they wanted to tie this into Final Fantasy VII. Q can be what became of Hot-Blooded Detective Joe. I've got various Hot-Blooded Detective Joe fan art videos on my channel, so check those out. I am kind of spooked because I got a copyright strike today for a Hey 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 Music Champ performance that is, over a decade old. And Hey 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 Music Champ is canceled, too. It was Aikichi Izawa, and for whatever reason, I ended up getting a copyright strike. So I gotta be careful. But I don't know, I can't stand it because, that is totally out of, preservation. I mean, I understand that, I'm not at the merit of, I don't have the discretion to determine what's legal and illegal, but I do feel like in principle that kind of thing is, important to upload in the name of, preservation and fandom. And it's like nobody in the United States is buying Aikichi Izawa things, and certainly nothing is even being sold of Hey 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 Music Champ. So, I don't know. Uh-oh. Q just kind of having a malfunction here. Street Fighter 3, so, I don't know, there just seemed to be a period of time where Capcom got very, very creative and experimental with their games. And that time was the late 90s, early 2000s. Now, I mean, Street Fighter 3 did not sell as well as Street Fighter 2. So, you might say to yourself, like, oh, well, maybe that kind of backfired on them. But I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with being creative and experimental with your franchises. It's not like they really disrespected any existing properties they had. Chun-Li, Ryu, and Ken and Akuma are all present in the game. So never. Okay. Sorry, I was just messing with the chat box there. Let's be Yang. Fight Yang. Who may or may not be Troa Barton from Gundam Wing. We don't know. Q looking stylish in that fedora. I tip my fedora to you, Yang, for your educated feet and kung fu skills. Man, Q is a weird fighter here. He has, no projectiles, but he has these, weird grappling and striking moves here. Alright, KO. Well done. Very nice atmospheric rain. This looks like a scene out of Blade Runner right here. Gonna have Rutger Hauer falling from a building pretty soon. Roy Batty. I still haven't seen, Blade Runner 2049. It seems interesting, but I don't know. It's one of those movies that I totally needed to see when it came out, and now that I have a family, I don't have time to do anything, and if I do have time to do something, I want it to be something that is quick, that I know I will enjoy, and I know with a movie I'm gonna be stuck sitting there for 3 hours. So, although I did not regret watching Sonic the Hedgehog, it was fantastic. I loved that movie deeply. Ooh, we get to hit an SUV. Hey, Arrow, what's going on, my man? Arrow, we are playing some Street Fighter 3, The Third Strike. We are a detective robot named Q, and we are smashing up an SUV. I have been rambling about Blade Runner and Gundam Wing, and a good time has been had by all, by which I mean me. who've just been talking to myself, but I enjoy doing that, so thank you for stopping by. I mean, I don't plan on, live streaming every night, but we just had a little bit of extra time, and I thought we've been having so much fun doing it. It would be fun to live stream tonight, because I'm actually a bit ahead of my schoolwork, thankfully. Tapes my dad had when he was around my age. You know what, man? I pulled a few of my OVAs to show on the live stream because I believe it was you who asked if I had any good recommendations for good anime OVAs. And I have a bunch of them pulled in DVD and VHS form, and they're sitting literally in a computer chair off screen. And once we get done playing some Third Strike, we will take a look at those. Alex, who is my favorite character in this game. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not like necessarily pushing myself because I'm having a lot of fun doing this. Definitely, I'm a pretty social person, but I'm also comfortably introverted when I need to be as well. So, like, I am completely fine staying at home on a Saturday night, just playing video games and watching obscure things on television, or I can, go out with friends and try to make weird, funny jokes and, just be a positive element in the situation. So either way, I'm good. So. Neat. I want to ask what they are, but perhaps that would be ruining the surprise. I'll tell you what some of them are. I said Bubblegum Crisis in the last one, and that is definitely in the pile. So, I have all of Bubblegum Crisis on VHS, subtitled, and I got that off of eBay back when I was an undergrad in college, and it was very, very good. There are several Bubblegum Crisis spin-offs. In fact, dude, I didn't realize this until I saw this. I was in some YouTube video, and then I did some extra research online. Like, Tenchi Muyo, which is another OVA you need to watch if you haven't seen it, was, like, it started off as a Bubblegum Crisis thing, but then just kind of went in its own direction and decided to ditch the cyberpunk, so. Q is very creepy and mysterious, but also likable, which is one of the things I find interesting about his character, and also comforting. I love his design. I love the fact that you have a guy that looks like, I don't know, some metal hero, but he is a detective, and he can't talk legibly. And then if you want to complicate things, G from Third Strike has a kind of a similar trope to him, except he can't shut up. So part of me's wondering if, Q is G, if they're part of some, like, species of weird thing. Like, I don't know, like, there's this whole Illuminati subplot. I mean, it's not even a subplot, it is the plot. But then there's also this whole mysterious subplot to Street Fighter 3 involving the Illuminati and nature, and it's interesting stuff. Tatsuya! Yes! We had some free time on our hands, so I thought it would be fun for us to do another live stream. Since I stayed up late on Sunday correcting papers, because my students have an assignment due on Tuesday night, and I wanted to be productive while Columbo was on, so I was correcting papers and watching Columbo. And so that means that, I don't really have much to do tonight other than just to relax. And I thought, what better way to relax than doing a fun live stream with some of my favorite fighting games and very cool people to talk to. I am playing as Q, obviously, and I don't ever play as Q on Third Strike. Darn it, we lost. When it comes to VHS types, I've always tried looking for fan subs and stuff of that nature. Would you happen to know of any place where such a thing could be found? Although I think that kind of material would be really difficult to find these days. Yes, it is difficult to find these days. I got a fan sub of Street Fighter, the animated movie, off of eBay. Etsy might have some fan subs. I have no idea. I'm able to find some pretty damn obscure, interesting stuff on Etsy. Like, for example, the other day I ordered the Japanese version of Cool Borders 2. So, that might be something you might want to look into. Also just straight up Google fan sub VHS tapes and see what you find. I teach 7th grade social studies, so that is U.S. history from the dawn of time through the end of the Civil War, which is something that I studied U.S. history, but I mostly studied in college the more 19th and 20th century stuff. So actually teaching 7th grade, while it can be challenging because of the age group, one thing I do like about it is that I do get to expand my knowledge of history. So things that I kind of knew in the back of my head or didn't know, I now teach and learn thoroughly. So I'm more well-rounded. Teaching is easy for some things and very, very difficult for others. So for example, I can be the disciplinarian and yell at kids if I need to, but I don't like to, but sometimes I have to. And so like the part about teaching where, you get up in the morning, you don't know, like, am I going to be in a confrontational situation or not? I mean, you hope you're not, and you prepare yourself for it, and you can handle it if it happens, but it's still not fun when it does happen. So that part of it is not fun at all. But then the part that is fun is being able to perform and kind of make a spectacle of yourself while helping people learn something that you enjoy. So that is a part of teaching I enjoy thoroughly. And teaching, can and does provide you with a stable living standard. So I'm very happy that I have a job that I can provide for my family with, and that I have a little bit of disposable income with. Maybe not that. Maybe it's more less disposable than I think it is, but I do enjoy buying a video game or two every paycheck, or 3, or a video game and some SCART cables, something along those lines. Okay, so I've been watching various YouTubers, and they've been complaining about the increasing amount of political correctness in video game development. And, Elena here is obviously a scantily clad, African martial arts expert. But to me, I don't see this character as being exploitative just because she's not wearing a lot of clothes. To me, she's every bit as strong and capable as Ken here. And the fact that she looks good makes me like her even more and sympathize with her character more. So, to me, these sexy portrayals of women who are the equals of men in these games, are not a problem. Just because they're, playing to various male aesthetic, preferences, I don't see anything wrong with that personally. I can't tell if the comments have stopped or not. The last question, or if you guys aren't commenting, that's fine. But the last comment I'm seeing is teaching easy or hard. And I know, in one of the previous live streams we did... Oh, here's another comment. I think that something like that can be said about Lovely Angels from Dirty Pair. Yeah, dude, I love Dirty Pair. In fact, that is one of the OVAs I've got for you. So, I mean, I'm not going to give it to you, but it's one of the ones I'm going to recommend for you. So, yeah, Dirty Pair is cool. I've got the so we had a video store in Cortland called Video Circus, and when I graduated from high school, I had a bit more free time on my hands because my schedule was less structured. So I began, taking walks. And one of the places I would walk to back in 2003 was Video Circus. And they had a really nice selection of anime VHS tapes. And I knew that VHS tapes were on their way out. So I basically just asked the manager there if she would sell those tapes to me, and she did. And I got a bunch of cool Streamline tapes. And Dakota's here. I was hoping you'd do a live stream tonight. Yes, I did decide to do a live stream tonight. I was telling Arrow and Tetsuya that I finished my current grading on Sunday night watching Columbo. And what's my favorite anime from International Channel and why? Dragon Ball Z Raw, because it made me fall in love with anime and was a gateway to Japanese culture. I really, really like Armored Trooper Votoms because of the music and the story and the characters. The Irresponsible Captain Tyler because it's just absurd, funny humor. Although I thought the later OVAs got way too serious, which I thought was kind of dumb. Let's see what else is good. Ninja Cadets, and I would say Shinesman is one of my all-time favorite things on International Channel. That is just a hilarious, awesome anime. Earthian, the first 2 episodes I really like. The last 2 episodes took place at the end of the manga and got kind of more into the girly boys love anime stuff, and that's, if you like it, fine. If not, I just wasn't that into it. But I love Yun Koga's artwork. Tokyo Vice, just because I like 1980s MTV stuff. Dragon Ball really does tend to have that effect, huh? Absolutely it does. Third Strike is what we are playing, and we are playing as Ken. I was playing a bit as Q, just because I just think his character is cool and mysterious and relaxing. Okay, now I like to box, so I love to parry, but I don't parry like this, and no one throws basketballs at me when I do practice parrying, so... I really like Sean as a character. Ah! So we are playing this, if you're just joining in, on the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection on the Xbox One. Since Sean was just chucking basketballs at me, we will fight him. We will throw hands. So Sean actually reminds me a bit of Sakura. Mainly because the way that Sakura has that very kind of sloppy but tough fighting style, Sean has that, which is very cool. So it's kind of like he's kind of not crudely copying, but like crudely interpreting Ryu and Ken's fighting style the same way that Sakura does. So I find that really cool about his character. And he just knocked me out. Yatase. I was saying at the start of the live stream that I was seriously considering also playing some New Generation, because as much as I deeply love Third Strike, I also think that New Generation has... I like the look and feel of New Generation a bit more, although I really, really, really like the rap opening to Third Strike, and I really love the character select music to Third Strike. And Third Strike has more characters, but I really, really like that kind of sun and sky look and feel to New Generation, and I love the artwork for the victory screens in New Generation. So, super move, favorite Street Fighter character ever, Ken, because I liked playing as him in Street Fighter Alpha 3. And I just thought his character was cool because he was very, he was like Ryu, but had more kind of cool American guy style, and I appreciated that. And as much as I like Ryu, who I do like very much, I do always think it's cool to, I don't know, I tend to like the side, like the cool guy side characters more sometimes than the main character. And that is definitely the case with Ken. Now, I don't want to spoil Street Fighter 2V for you guys if you haven't seen it, but there is a pretty cool situation in there where Ken has to rescue Ryu, and it is very cool. Other Street Fighter characters I really like, Blanca, because Blanca is my go-to person in Street Fighter 2, the original. I'm very good at timing his fierce dropkick. And I also really like Sakura, because I think she's spunky and cute, and I like her fighting style. So there's probably my top 4 right there. I love Cammy too, just because I really think she is like a male fantasy with extreme ass-kicking abilities. So. I also like her character. Like, her backstory is cool, too. It's like she's a thong-clad soldier of M. Bison, and then she turns into a good guy, and then she's played by Kylie Minogue, and I really like Kylie Minogue's music. Like, you need to check out Kylie Minogue's, like, first album. It is filled with cool, like, 80s British pop stuff, and it is just fantastic. Wow, that wasn't good. Nice finish move there, though. I love how this screen explodes with energy on this game. So, I was playing Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite today, because Santino likes that game, and just is not a good-looking game. And the gameplay isn't that good either. I see people say Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, it's like, oh, it's ugly, but it's got really good gameplay. It has adequate gameplay. It's, like, got decent gameplay, but compared to any traditional Street Fighter or Marvel vs. game or SNK vs. game, it is not, doesn't stack up, in my opinion. Because, like, the big thing with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, like, if you choose a character like Jedha who's fast, then it's like, oh, the game's, like, pretty fun to play because he's fast and you can just rush people with a combo by basically just tapping one button repeatedly. But, I mean, to me, like, that doesn't have the same type of strategic timing that a game like this has, or a game like Marvel vs. Capcom has, because, you know, like, the other thing that bothers me about Infinite, and this is part of that because, here's the strategic timing here. Okay, so, when you tag in and out, you know, your partner character just stands on the screen and can take damage. I hate that. The other thing that really annoys me about that game is that blocking is way too easy. Like, if you find a split second to do a move, the computer always finds a way to block it. It's like, dude, what the freak, man? It's like the game takes place in slow motion, even with the fast characters. I'm gonna, like, actually change my button layout here because... Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the flow of things, but... I'm going to change my heavy punch to this, and I'm going to change my heavy kick to this, and that should fix our problem here, as I get kicked in the face and get knocked out. Does anybody in school know that you do YouTube, and if they do, what do they say about it? Kids do find my YouTube channel. And my whole thing is, like, I know my YouTube content is good. Like, I'm not trying to brag, but, like, my whole thing is, like, I don't have anything to hide, you know? It's like, I'm not on here in front of a green screen, like, singing The Village People or something to be embarrassed about, you know? So, like, I play video games that I like, and I review things that I like, and if a kid finds it, cool. I can't really interact much with you because of, you know, I'm a teacher and I want to keep an appropriate distance. But, you know, but, like, for example, like, you know, I know some of my students, like, past students will, like, show up to live streams, or even some current students will show up to a live stream, and it's, like, you know, like, cool, like, welcome, and, you know, I know, you know, Rogue Drums over here is a former student from my substitute teaching days, but, you know, he's, like, on the verge of graduating, you know, so he's a little bit more on the, you know, mature side. So basically, long answer to a short question. I just, you know, try to be honest and professional while being myself, and be appropriate at the same time. Let's be Ken again. Mainly because I'm the best with him, and I'm streaming right now, and I don't even know what I set the difficulty to on this. It's not that hard, but I don't think I've got this cranked up, but I'm not cruising through this game. It's Dudley. Back to boxing. Again, well, you know, that's like something I do. Like, I love training in it. I mean, Mike Tyson is just my athletic hero. And one thing I liked about Balrog is, like, he fought like Mike Tyson. That's why his real name was M. Bison. And then they changed it, because they were afraid Mike Tyson would sue. In fact, like Mike from the original Street Fighter is Balrog. I've watched my friend Noel since 7th grade, and I'm a senior this year. Wait, Dakota, are you a senior? Like, you're graduating this year? I thought you were in 11th grade. If you are a senior, congratulations. Ah, come on. That's not good. Do you watch boxing or UFC fights? I watch a lot of old Mike Tyson fights. I will watch UFC fights, but I don't watch like every UFC pay-per-view. Mainly because they're on way too late, and you know, like, I mean, that's the kind of thing where it's like I don't have friends. But well, okay, let me take that back. Before I started training, I had no friends that were interested in watching fights. Now I have friends that are interested in watching fights, but they don't tend to live in town. And the UFC pay-per-views are on like super late, and I don't want to really order them. I said after this year I'm a senior. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I thought you were in 11th grade. Alright, why don't we... Nah, I'm going to keep playing this. I don't want to give up. If this starts like dragging too much, we'll play something else. But I think I've still got a couple tricks up my sleeve here. Let's be Ryu. Shinku Hadoken. Choose and pick the best one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, Diego! Yes. Now, I was saying, you know, I mean, I kind of stream whenever I have some free time and feel like it, and I had some free time and felt like it, so here we are. Playing some Third Strike. I've gotten a little stalled by the last couple characters here, so I've been kind of swapping back and forth, experimenting with, you know, Ken, Ryu, Alex, and Q, and now we're going to try and Ryu here. Again, I don't really know what I have this set to, so... I don't know if you guys have ever played the video game Evil Zone for the original PlayStation, but you need to have it. We gonna be hanging out after I graduate? Yes! So, fun story about Rogue Drums here. He'd always be like, can I come over to your house and play video games? And I was like, no, because you're, you know, a junior high student and that would not be appropriate. But, you know, I said, but after you graduate, you can. And now he's going to graduate pretty soon. So once you do graduate, yes, you are going to come over and we can play video games. That will be fun. But only after you graduate. So, bring Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate if I don't have it already, because it is ridiculous I don't have that game. I have every Dead or Alive in one form or another, but I don't have Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate. Dead or Alive 6, I am deeply annoyed with in terms of the crappy arcade mode and stupid costume system. It's ridiculous, man. And then they're like, oh, you can buy it all for our $90 season pass. I'm like, dude, I am not that desperate to freaking see, like, imaginary anime girls in skimpy clothes. Like, that's just, like, one of the fun things about that game that happens to be part of a cool fighting game. Not something that I'm going to drop $100 on, you know? Like, I know how to talk to girls. I'm married, okay? I don't need to spend $90, okay? Like, come on. It's ridiculous. I love the fist bump that Ryu and Ken do at the start of their fights here. I love that Ryu and Ken are bros. They're best friends. The living embodiment of the brotherhood, camaraderie, and friendly rivalry between Japan and America. I love this jazzy New York 99 music is what it's called. I should have just started this game with Ryu. I'm like the best with him. So. Isn't everyone the best with Ryu? I mean, come on. I was telling Tetsuya that Ken is my favorite character because he is, but I think I'm probably a little better with Ryu. Mainly because Ryu can play a bit more defensively. But I do like the aggressiveness of Ken's fighting style. So Ken is really cool to play as with a friend in dramatic battle mode on Alpha 3. Because your friend can hang back and do the projectiles, and you can run up and do all the, you know, dragon punches and hurricane kicks. Ooh, nice parry into a dragon punch there. Ah, it was not timed right. Now, another cool thing about this collection is that it also has Street Fighter 1 on it, which I recently beat with Santino, and that game is a bitch. And not trying to be inappropriate here, but Sagat on that game is so ridiculously cheap. Noel, I highly recommend you check out a classic, amazing 90s Japanese shooting mecha game called Gunman Wars by Namco. You won't regret it. I will totally check that out. That sounds awesome. Yeah, let's do a live stream too after I'm graduated. I don't have that game anymore. I sold most of my games for drum gear. Ah, understandable. Cool, man. Yes, I will check that out. And Rogue Drums, that is cool. Diego, I was checking out that Bloody Actress game you were talking about on the other live stream. That game looks really good. You know what? We might play. We should probably play some Variable Geo on Super Famicom for this live stream. The Super Famicom version of that game is, family friendly. Some of the PC versions of that game are wildly inappropriate, but and I don't own them. But it's a really cool looking video game, and the Super Famicom version is super stylish and But I will totally. Ah, man, we almost beat him there. Son of a gun! He didn't even have his freaking resurrection powered up either. Yes. So, I'm always down for some cool girl fighting games. I was saying earlier in the live stream, I don't think those sexy girl fighting games are exploitative. It's the girls are strong and cool, and the fact that they look good means that guys will like them more. So I mean, honestly, Chun-Li and Tina from Dead or Alive, or some of them, are some of my first, real mental revelations of, oh yeah, the women are just as cool as men, so. I mean, that's what video games did for me. Okay, we're gonna be Ryu again. We're so close. You didn't try that freaking Illuminati angel screen explosion move. Gil has got to be inspired by the Pillar Men from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Except he's a lot nicer than the Pillar Men. I mean, the Pillar Men are, for the most part, bloodthirsty vampires. No, I mean, the one that fought Joseph in the chariot race had a good amount of honor, though. Cryokinesis. Yeah, the other thing, it's people are always like, oh, well, men aren't scantily clad in video games. Gil is wearing a cloth Speedo, and no one's complaining. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to run out and wear a cloth Speedo, but, if he can pull it off, more power to him. Nice brother. Yes, Melty Bloody Actress. You know what cool PS2 game I just got? So, I just got a mod-shipped PS2 because I wanted to play Japanese PS2 games, and the guy was so nice. He sent me a copy with it of Dodonpachi, and I was messing around a bit with that, and it's great. I am kind of recently gotten into shmups, and that's a really good game. You know what game I recently beat was Star Parodia on my PC Engine Mini, and that game is super fun. I just did a review for it on the channel, if any of you are interested in checking it out, if you haven't already. And if you have already, thank you very much. Alright, we have to beat Gil here. Gil's ending is really interesting, because he turns Alex into, like, something like him. Like, I'm sure I told you guys this, like, there was this, like, this fan art contest, to do, like, a Street Fighter Darkstalkers crossover. So I drew, like, D, which is, like, the vampire version of Donovan, and, like, the Gil version of Alex, like, in front of each other, and then I kind of, like, surrounded it with, like, Street Fighter 2V characters and Darkstalker characters. I mean, I don't know, like, how great of a picture it was, but, like, it wasn't, like, terrible, but, you know, I didn't, like, get anything at all. Like, I didn't even get any recognition, you know, like, it didn't get a like on social media, so... Maybe, like, I should have done something, like, more direct, like Blanca playing with Sasquatch or something. Gosh darn it, man. One thing I do like better about Capcom than SNK is their bosses are not so ridiculous where it's like you feel like you can't actually play according to your skill. You're more just trying to figure out programming tricks. The PC-88 and I have a lot of... Yes, the PC-88 and 98. Is that what you're talking about for the VG games? The variable geo games? And you have a lot of shmups too? Cool, man. I would love to get a PC-88 and 98, mainly because of Police Knots. But it would be in Japanese, so... I've got Police Knots in English on Sega Saturn, and dude, I freaking love that game. And the PC-88, I'm sorry, the PC-98 version of that game, I love how that looks. I mean, I'm not saying the way that the Saturn one looks is bad. It's not. It's, like, perfect in its own way. But I really, really like the way that the PC-88 version of Police Knots looks. Freaking Gil, go down, please. You're making me be cheap. No! Darn it! Do you have Rockman? I do. In fact, I have Rockman 1 imported from Japan on the PlayStation 1. That is a game I got to the last level on, and I did not... I couldn't beat it. I got stuck. I don't know if I've ever reviewed any Rockman games, but I need to. I do like Rockman, Mega Man quite a bit. I don't have all of them. I do have Mega Man 9, one of the newer ones, on my Xbox 360, and I liked it quite a bit. It was very difficult. I've got Mega Man 2 on my Famicom Mini, or Rockman 2 on my Famicom Mini. I've got Mega Man X4 on PlayStation. I have Mega Man 8 on PlayStation and Sega Saturn. So I have Mega Man 5... No, Mega Man X5 on PlayStation. So, I mean, I've got, like, a smattering of Mega Man games, but it's not, like, a series that I follow religiously. It's one that I like, but I'm not good at, but I like the character quite a bit. So, but I do need to review them. If I lose, like, 2 more times, we'll switch to another game. You guys don't need to watch me bang my head against the wall. Although, you know, maybe you'd like that. I'm sure that'll, like, get subscribers. Dude, I was trying to block that. Ugh. Jeez. Gonna have to mix it up. I'm gonna try Alex after this. Ah! So, Arrow, what's your favorite shmup? You can beat it. No, don't give up. All right, fine. I'll keep going. I think it'd be better if we see you having a good time instead. All right, well, fine. I'll keep playing. I'm not 10 to boss rage, really. So, you know, I'm not gonna be, like, flipping entertainment centers or anything. 20 minutes later. Son of a bitch! So, you know, stay tuned for that. I always liked the Toho Pro. Oh, cool. I've never heard of that one. You know who got me into shmups is Guy Jillionaire, the YouTuber. He did a really good video on Twinbee, and so that kind of like was the gateway. And since then, and I had like I really liked Blazing Star, just because I loved the whole space opera style of it. I had that on my phone for a long time. Like that would be like the cell phone game I would play. And it was like not a difficult game either. Like some shmups are like really difficult, but Blazing Star was, you know, it was like it's a kind of like a chill, relaxing game to play. There we go. We got one round in. Me eating strawberries. Okay. Hang on, Arrow. I'm going to look at your comment in just a second here, but I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. God, come on. Darn it. Alex rocking those cool 80s white stonewashed jeans. Get up, get up. Ah, man. So close. Is there really good at any of them, but those are something I've always been... Yeah, I hear you, man. Dude, you know a shmup that's crazy is Castle Shikigami? I bought that because it had, like, cool cover art at GameStop. The translation in that game is insane. It, like, makes no sense. It's just a bunch of gibberish. In fact, we should play that. Like, it's like a cool enough game, but it makes no sense. I was like playing it, like, what am I reading here? It's like English, but none of the words are coherent. Gosh darn it! Come on! Ah, man! Strawberries are good. Yes, they are. A series of indie games before the term even existed. Backwards on the PC Engine. Yeah, cool. Do you collect toy figures? I do like my Dragon Ball statues. I don't have a ton. I'm not one of those types of people that is gonna drop, like, not that there's anything wrong with this, but like I'm not gonna drop like $90 on a statue. I'm really into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I saw a bunch of really cool JoJo statues. And then I like looked at the price tag on them, and I was like, no, we're not doing that. Because it was like, they had a picture, they had like a really cool statue of Diavolo from Golden Wind, and it was like $90. I'm like, dude, what the freak, man? Like, I'm not paying for this. But I found honestly, like, I mean, they're not like super, like, you know, snooty quality, but the Dragon Ball statues they have at GameStop for like $30 are like great. I got like a really good Super Saiyan 3 Dragon Ball GT Goku. I got a really good sexy Android 18. I got a cool Super Saiyan God Vegeta, you know, so. But I mean, I like figures. I actually have some chibi Sailor Moon figures glued onto my Mountain Dew Xbox because they match it, and I think it looks cool. So I am into figures. I dabble in them, and I try not to go broke, because I'd rather spend my money on obscure video games from Japan. Well, not obscure, but like obscure now. Popular in a place that's not here. Alex, get him. Oh, come on, we're so close. Go down, you blue man. No, he's got resurrection. Oh, all right, one more. We're doing one more, and then we're gonna move on to something else. A Supreme Being's influence is the key to his power. Ah, okay, sure. I love Sailor Moon. Yes, I love Sailor Moon. Not seen the live action TV series of Sailor Moon though. That is interesting. I have not seen that. I've seen pictures of it. What's the most expensive game you've ever bought? I dropped $90 on a custom-made cartridge of a game for the Famicom. It was translated into English, and it was called Metal Slater Glory. I'll show it to you. It's a gold cartridge. It's very cool. It's a very rare Famicom game, and it's a text-based RPG, and it's like about like mechs, and it's got all those like cool 80s tropes, you know. So that is Metal Slater Glory is the most expensive game I've ever bought. But I have spent $500 on a Neo Geo, so that's probably my most expensive video game purchase. My Neo Geo games, my AES games that I own are pretty inexpensive, though. You know, I'm not like one of those people that it's like, oh, I'm going to spend like $500 on SVC Chaos when I can get it on the Xbox for much less. Gosh darn it. Man, Gil! You know what's frustrating about Gil? Is that he's not, like, super cheap either. It's just his moves do a ton of damage. And he's got that stupid Resurrection super move. Yeah, here it is. He's going to do it. Man, I don't want to lose. Don't get cute, not now. Ah, darn it. I was going to try to go for my super move, and it was a stupid, stupid idea. Is Neo Geo rare to find? It's not rare, it's just expensive. Alright, we're going to go home for this. So that was fun, even though I didn't win. Okay, is Neo Geo rare to find? It's not rare, but the games are insanely expensive. Have I reviewed any Metal Slug games? I have not, but I'm sorry, will I review them? Sure, absolutely. I like Metal Slug games. I've never beaten a Metal Slug game, but I will totally check them out more so. I have the Neo Geo mini arcade cabinet here, and that does have a lot of Metal Slug games built into it, so I will totally check those out. Now, Arrow had asked, I think last live stream, do I have any good anime recommendations? And yes, I do, of the OVA variety. So this right here is RG Veta. This is a clamp fantasy anime that is very good. This is subtitled in Japanese. And one of the composers for Duran Duran actually did the closing credits. So it's pretty cool. I like that. This isn't an OVA. This is a movie, The Blade of Kamui. I really, really like this movie. This might be my favorite anime movie. It's got very trippy, cool fight scenes. It kind of goes between like Tokugawa Japan and the Wild West. It's really very good. It's beautifully animated and drawn. And it's just a very engaging anime. And as someone who likes history, I like that anime quite a bit. Lily Cat is a very cool sci-fi horror anime. I like it. If you like movies like Alien and you like 1980s style anime, or early 90s style anime, Lily Cat, very good. Um, Black Magic M66. This is a very cool anime. I think it's about like 50 minutes. No, 48 minutes. Yeah, so and it's just kind of like a cute, fun mech anime, and it's just cool. So if you like Masamune Shiro, you like kind of cute girls and crazy robots and funny situations with a good dose of kind of seriousness thrown in. This is a good one. This is not appropriate for children. The Crying Freeman is very, very good. This is a gratuitously violent and sexual anime. It's not like porn or anything like that, but it's a very violent mob anime about the Chinese and Japanese mafia. It's got some really cool stories and animation that I find engaging and interesting. So, Crying Freeman, really good. Great music in Crying Freeman as well. Really, really good music if you like late 80s, early 90s Japanese pop music. So really good stuff here. More kind of on the serious side of tone, but really, really good. Ninja Cadets. I would be uploading this on my channel if I was not worried about getting a copyright strike. This was an international channel anime, and good stuff here. This is on DVD. Good stuff. Ninja Cadets. It's about teenage ninjas before Naruto. And I like Naruto, but this is one of those cool AIC animes. So you can really see that, like, mid 90s style, really accentuated cheekbones, giant eyes, stylized noses, poppy soundtrack, very good stuff. This I really like. Mega Man X, what's going on? Video Girl Eye. This is a very, very good anime OVA. I'm a huge fan of the manga of this. The manga version of this is actually funnier than the anime version, but the anime version is also very nice. So I would highly recommend reading the manga, but the anime is great as well, and it's got a cool creator interview. The anime focuses a bit more on the kind of soft-hearted, wistful, semi-depressing teen angst, whereas the manga itself is actually really, really funny. And the main character is kind of more relatable, I think, if you are a, kind of a nerdy guy. But this is still a great anime with great music. So Video Girl Eye, check that out. This is Earthian. I told you this is a kind of a girly anime, but the first 2 episodes were animated in the late 80s, and I really love that style. Great music in this anime as well. Yun Koga is a fantastic mangaka. In fact, I like her stuff so much. Check this out. I actually bought an Earthian art book. The second episode of Earthian has like a lot of her artwork. So I literally sought it out myself. She has just this insanely beautiful style. So Earthian, I even have the Earthian soundtrack, and I love her work. It's fantastic. So yeah, Earthian, check that out, especially the first 2 episodes. I think like the last 2 are okay, but honestly, I don't know. The first 2 I think are much, much better. Then one of my all-time favorites, Bubblegum Crisis. You can get this on VHS if you can find them. I have the entire VHS set, or you can find it on DVD. So Bubblegum Crisis, really cool cyberpunk girl vigilante anime with robots and androids gone crazy, called Boomers. Yeah, Boomer. And if you want the sequel to Bubblegum Crisis, Bubblegum Crash, it's good. It's not as good as Crisis, but it is still good. So I would recommend watching Bubblegum Crash as well. And those are some of my anime OVA recommendations. So, rewatch the video for those. And that's some good stuff. So wow, we've played Street Fighter 3 for an hour. I think that's a testament to how good that game is. So let's play something else. We play a lot of fighting games here because that's one of my favorite things to play. But we were talking about shmups, so I think we should play. Let's play some shmup right here. Why don't we play some Blazing Star? One of the most beautiful shoot 'em ups I think I've ever played. I'm trying to think. Should we play this on the little Neo Geo or the Xbox? Why don't we play this on the little Neo Geo? No, let's play it on the Xbox. All right. Since we already got the Xbox on. Neat. I had to take notes there. All right. Well, my work is done then. Yeah, check those animes out. Incidentally, if you have Pluto TV or Retro Crush, those are so Pluto TV is a free cable service basically that comes on smart TVs from Vizio, and you can also get it on Roku. Do I have King of Fighters? I have lots. I think I might have every King of Fighters. Do you want to play King of Fighters 94? Because I legit have that on the AES. So let's do a little bit of Blazing Star, and then we'll do some KOF 94. I have all the King of Fighters. I believe. I don't think I'm missing any. But yes, I love King of Fighters. I'm going to hit the lights. Okay. The future is now. SNK. Okay, so we'll play it in English. Ooh. Come on. I'm hitting Y, man. So, I have all the anime DVD from International Channel. That is awesome. I have all the original tapes off Japanese Action Explosion. I just, my Earthian tape got messed up. Man, I skipped the opening. I didn't mean to do that. Let's, make this game as easy as possible. Number of players. 6. Level 1. Do we have an auto fire on this? Give me auto fire, you bastard. Credits, level display. Yes, yes, yes. Dude, what the freak is up with the analog on this? It's like insanely responsive. It's like too responsive. There we go. Button settings. Ooh, rapid fire on. Yes. Wow, that analog is way too sensitive. Okay, let's play. He said, okay, so he has all the KOF games, but that's not true. I have KOF. I don't have any KOF games on emulators. Not that there's anything wrong with emulators, but what is it like being an only child? Do you like being an only child? Yes, I do like being an only child. You have a lot of time to think and watch TV. That is what I say about being an only child. I have KOF 94 and 95 on the Neo Geo AES, and then the rest I have on PS2 and the newer consoles. So, and I also have some on the Neo Geo Arcade Mini that I have. I was only kidding. Of course you have all of them. Yeah. Just making sure you all knew. Space, baby! I liked this opening so much. Before I even had this game, I would just watch it on YouTube, just like on a loop, because I thought it was so interesting. Alright, let's play. Alright, I know how to play. I'll be this guy. Ah, sweet, sweet auto fire. Saving my thumbs from getting carpal tunnel syndrome. So, again, lots of people will say the Xbox One doesn't offer much in the way of Japanese games, but if you go to their store, they have a ton of really good Japanese games in there. Blazing Star being one of them. The prequel to this game is called Pulsar, which I also have on Xbox One, and that game is the hugest pain in the ass. Like, it is so difficult. Like, Blazing Star is very easy, which is one of the things I like about it, but Pulsar is very, very difficult. But it's also very cool. Like, Pulsar and Blazing Star, man, like, they are some of the most artistically accomplished shmups I've ever seen. The music is just ridiculous. It's just this kind of like poppy, it's like the synth pop with some jazz saxophone thrown in. And then like throw in some dance music. I think we spelled lucky. Some people don't like the girl screaming bonus every 2 seconds, but I actually do. The big one is closing in. Noel, what do you... Okay, the backgrounds that you get from top-down... Yeah, they're both good. I mean, it's all good. Top-down and side-scrolling shmups both have their own aesthetic merit. Who do you think will win this year's election? And who do you want to win? Oh, wow. Okay, so so full disclosure here. I consider myself a Catholic socialist. My 3 favorite philosophers are Jesus Christ, Karl Marx, and Noam Chomsky. So I consider myself on certain issues more on the conservative side and on other issues more on the leftist side. But I have respect for all human dignity. So I respect other people's opinions. I think that Donald Trump is not anywhere nearly... Personally, you might disagree with this. I don't think he's anywhere nearly as bad as people make him out to be. I think he's just kind of a corrupt, doofy businessman who rewards the people he likes and punishes the people he doesn't like. He's very much into the whole alpha male persona. But I think as a president, he hasn't done a horrible job. I mean... He's appointed, I think, not very good people to positions of authority in his cabinet, but, I mean, the economy has done well, and he's taken a slightly more diplomatic tone in certain foreign policy issues, which I think is good. And I like the fact that he tries to put the press in their place, because I think the media treats the public with a lot of contempt. And I like the fact that he kind of almost makes a mockery out of the political establishment, because that really is, I think, a very disgusting, power-oriented, system. And the fact that a rogue oligarch has been able to kind of run roughshod over it is semi-refreshing. But I don't actually really like him that much. I think he's kind of goofy and funny. But, he hasn't really changed much that's systemically wrong with the United States. I'm not a big fan of the Democrats just because I think that they have had every opportunity to try to offer good solutions to bad problems, and all they can do is, in my opinion, try to out-Trump Trump and fail doing it. And they don't understand why they lose, and they don't want to understand because they're so into their tribal Washington culture and ego that it's just like out of spite they're willing to double down on the reasons that made them lose the election. So, in short, I think that Trump will probably win, although I think Biden is a much stronger candidate than Hillary Clinton, because Hillary Clinton, I think, was, in a time where people were so sick of the establishment, she was literally like the embodiment of, she was like the handmaiden of the establishment, unapologetically. And, she was, I think, as corrupt as Trump in worse ways in a lot of cases. But you can debate that. But so Biden has got a little bit more working class appeal. But here's the thing I kind of semi-appreciate about Trump is that he at least pretends to care about what's important to working class people. So there's that. Now, that said, I understand a lot of people are deeply concerned about the fact that, Trump is happily willing to let racist people vote for him, which isn't good, to put it mildly. But I don't really think Trump is that racist himself. I just think, like, the Republicans or Democrats or whoever, they're willing to get as many votes as they can get and willing to play whatever game they can, regardless of who it hurts. So that's not good. But that's, one thing. But the other thing, too, is, like, the Democrats are, I think, willing to compromise their ethics as well for votes. So it really is just kind of up to your personal preference. And it's definitely you're choosing between the lesser of two evils. I usually vote third party and try to vote my conscience as much as possible. So that's my take on politics. So hopefully that didn't offend anyone or cause anyone to tune out. So feel free to disagree with me. I think that one thing I don't like about all this current going on about quarantine is that both the president and his opponents are too worried about the 2020 election. I mean, they're like doing their jobs enough, but they need to just stop worrying about strategy for November and just focus completely on, making sure that people are safe and working together. So that's a fair perspective. Thank you. Do you think democracy, socialism will work in the United States like that? This is my take on socialism. Socialism will work if people are able to have incentive and creativity and accountability. If you don't have that, new forms of corruption will come, and they'll be bad in their own way. So do I think socialism can work in the United States like it can in Europe? Sure. But I think there's also things in Europe that is socialistic that does not work. So there's definitely things about capitalism that don't work as well, obviously. The alienation of labor, crazy profits, sweatshops, And the thing is, like, my definition of socialism isn't like a one-party dictatorship. Like, my definition of socialism is the government controls the economy with the interest of the working class being the founding principle. So that's how I interpret socialism, and that can take many forms. So, I mean, for me, like, you'd want to have an electoral system with checks and balances, but, I mean, there's a lot of, like, I mean, I work for the state, and just, I mean, you can see things at the state level that are socialistic that don't work, where people just, don't have accountability for their actions, and then they just start to abuse the system, and it gets very frustrating. And so, I mean, that's like a serious dose of reality when it comes to socialism. But, I believe that people, should have government based around their welfare and care and growth and dignity. And I think that on paper, socialism does that, and that's what should be strived toward. So... But you have to work. But you mean you can have one thing on paper, but in reality, you have to do what works. So, like, you have to have high principles, and I think be flexible and ethical in how you achieve those principles. Uh-oh, it's not time to relax yet. I respect your opinions, bro. Thank you. I respect your opinions, whatever they may be. Just don't say you like to eat babies, then I will not respect your opinions. But I'll still let you hang out on the stream. I'm not that kind of person that'll ban you. So, even if you like to kick puppies. But don't be kicking puppies. So. See, the cool thing about this game is I can just keep pumping in credits here, so it'll never be game over. That's how I beat Twinbee on the Switch. Come on. One thing I love about this game, too, are the, how the computer talks to you. Are you serious? Get serious. Get ready. So the last level of this is you fight that space fetus baby, and it's just amazing. This is some bullet hell right here. Kid Show Ryuken is a YouTube channel that reviews a lot of great shooters that I highly recommend. Don't forget to kick or I don't kick or eat puppies. Yes. China is more capitalist than socialist. Yeah, no, I agree. And so, yes, I agree. Diego, I know you don't actually kick puppies and eat babies. Nobody who's as cool as you would ever do that. So, because I see the kind of stuff that you post on your channel, and it's just all super cool. Dude, you know what sucks though? I was telling the other people a little bit earlier that I got a copyright strike today because I uploaded a Aikichi Yazawa video from Hey 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 Music Champ from like 2001 that's been up on my channel for years, and I got a copyright strike. So I only have one strike on my channel, but, you know, I want to be careful. Yeah, China is more capitalist than socialist, even though it's a communist country. Yeah, I know. I agree 100%. You know what Deng Xiaoping said? It doesn't matter what color the cat is, as long as it catches mice. You know, I mean, like, I'm totally cool with China being a one-party system as long as they take care of their people and follow the Confucian principle of being, you know, benevolent leaders and responsive to public needs and giving people their, you know, their rights, right? Because, I mean, according to communism, the dictatorship of the proletariat is supposed to be more enlightened than the dictatorship of the bourgeoisie. So do it. Just do it, man. Man, the music on this game, I cannot get over how just pretty and fun and smooth the gameplay is on Blazing Star. I mean, don't get me wrong, I really like Pulse Star. In fact, Pulse Star is the first game I downloaded on my Xbox One, but that game is just very, very difficult. Blazing Star is just, I think, much better. You know what that kind of reminds me of? I've figured out how to beat Art of Fighting 2, but the difference between Pulse Star and Blazing Star reminds me of the difference between Art of Fighting 2 and Art of Fighting 3, where they made a game so ridiculously difficult, and everyone knew it was ridiculously difficult, so they made the next game, like, much easier and much more enjoyable. So, like, Art of Fighting 3 is, like, a really enjoyable, easy fighting game to play, and Art of Fighting 2 is, like, out of its mind in terms of difficulty, where you can't actually use, like, reflex skill. You have to just try to cheat the AI. Sometimes I forget you're also a bit political and philosophical enthusiast, not just a video game anime hobbyist. Yeah, that's true. I do love my politics and philosophy. Honestly, I was so off-put by the media and political and social climate after Trump got elected, because I thought people were just being unreasonable, really on all ends of the spectrum, but mostly on the center-left, that I just was like, I'm just going to focus on anime and video games and just chill. And the other thing, too, is that once I got a job as a public school teacher, I didn't want to have any of, like, I don't think any of my videos are anything super controversial or offensive, but I just want to make sure that I'm not, you know, annoying anyone in a position of power that could make my life professionally difficult. But it is election year, so everyone tends to get a bit more political and philosophical when it comes to that, so. But the politics and philosophy, I mean, those things help me review video games because you learn how to be analytical and, you know what you appreciate and why you appreciate it. But, yeah, I could just listen to, you know what's a really good philosophy to listen to? And, like, this guy is the embodiment of everything that is right and wrong with academia. Because I think he's, like, got these wild insecurities and kind of, like, ethical imbecile episodes. But at the same time, he's the best teacher I think I've ever seen. Rick Roderick. If you like YouTube Rick Roderick Teaching Company lectures,
They're fantastic. Nietzsche is my least favorite philosopher easily, because I think he's too because I think his perspective on Christianity is wrong. I think he took what he didn't like about himself and projected it onto Christianity, and then what he offered up, and this is just my opinion, is to be like to be super willful and power oriented, but just have a Greco-Roman aesthetic and cosmopolitan European aesthetic, and that would somehow make everything okay. And I have very little patience for that. But there's a lot of good power analysis and some philosophical sci-fi tropes in Nietzsche that's also good. Anyway, the reason I bring that up is because Rick Roderick is basically like a Nietzschean philosopher who is also kind of like a 1960s quasi-Marxist. And so he's just almost this like caricature of a left-wing professor, but his understanding of philosophy and his teaching skills are so good that you really can kind of see his humanity and his amazing teaching skill at the same time. And so, like, Rick Roderick teaching company videos are like one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube when I want to get my mind going. I'm a huge Noam Chomsky person, but I think Noam Chomsky is also not sufficiently critical of like the countries he will. Noam Chomsky never really defends any countries, but he doesn't offer enough context. So, for example, like, if he's criticizing Israel, awesome, but he needs to criticize the Palestinians as well. If he's criticizing the U.S., awesome, but he needs to also criticize the people that the U.S. are dealing with to add more context to the situation. But I think his analysis is very, very good, and I personally, while I'm not an atheist like him, I agree with his politics much more often than not, and I got to meet him and converse with him a bit, and it's one of the highlights of my life. I mean, even though to him I'm just some schlub. How about a video about Mao Zedong, Marx, Hitler, Che? That would be epic. Sure. Gosh, I hate the YouTube copyright straight. Yeah, it sucks. Which countries do you think have the best government style that the U.S. needs to have? I think that I don't know if any country has an ideal government style. I think that the United States needs to have a form of government that maintains what works about the United States form of government, which is personal freedoms, freedom of religion, culture, that kind of mass culture, government of the people aspect of the United States. But at the same time, it needs to be constitutionally based on the needs of the working class, and it needs to have a very clear social safety net where things like healthcare are guaranteed. That needs to happen. So basically, I think they need to combine basically elements of Western European social democracy with what works about the United States already, is the kind of vague short answer to your question. But I think that needs to be the goal, and I think it needs to be centered around the working class on a constitutional and legal level. I mean, I'm very much of that kind of Christian mentality where like the last shall be first, and not the last because you screwed up your life because of terrible choices. Last because you're unfairly alienated from power, because your human dignity is being denied you. And your human dignity is not to do whatever you want. It's just that people follow the golden rule when dealing with you, Sorry, guys, I don't mean to, preach at you. I want to keep this kind of chill, but you guys are asking, questions, and I can go off on various things, so. What's your favorite president that did a good thing for the U.S.? Probably FDR, because the fact that he had that kind of paternalist mentality during the Great Depression, I think that really helped people have confidence in their country and in each other. And the fact that he was able to, basically form alliances in World War II that defeated fascism are extremely important. So I would say FDR would be my favorite president, but Japanese internment was ridiculous. So, I mean, pretty much every president, has got their pros and cons. I mean, I know that's like a stupid answer, but it's the truth. Definitely some presidents have more cons than pros, though. Like, for example, like Ronald Reagan, his Latin American policy could easily have gotten him put on trial for international crimes against humanity, I think. But his kind of public persona of, giving dignity to the working class and in helping Americans feel like they can believe in something again and fostering a kind of a culture that, was very aesthetically vibrant and focused on, family values and action escapism and things like that. Like, I think culturally he was good largely for the United States, but his Latin American policy was an abomination as far as I'm concerned. So, presidents are just different, and again, like, I mean, I respect people's opinions too, so you can, like, completely disagree with me. And the good thing about the United States is we're able to have these kind of conversations, not that other countries won't let you have these conversations, but I don't want to be one of those people that's like, oh, the U.S. sucks, while you're benefiting from, the kind of political freedoms that the U.S. gives you. Dude, check out this freaking combination of 2D and 3D. It's beautiful. Which countries do you think have... Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm just trying to go back and read the comments here. So, again, I didn't mean to offend anyone. Well, I'm just cruising, playing some Blazing Star here. Bonus, bonus. This is a similar to Star Parodia, where you just have the auto fire on. It makes these games so much more relaxing, Not that the games where you the games where you have to keep tapping the button are fine. You know what game where you have to keep tapping the button that I've been playing is Bumpin' Pro Sumo on the Famicom. That game is fantastic, but as you get farther into it, I'm at the second to last tier of the sumo tournament, and the amount of button mashing that you have to do to try to knock those 8-bit sumo wrestlers out of the ring is absurd. It's great, though, but I'm going to get carpal tunnel. It's going to happen. It's just, it's not a question of when. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when, Thank you, Arrow. Thank you for being understanding. Well, you know what? Like, dude, I watch, one of the YouTubers I watch is this guy called The Quartering. I also watch, like, Pat the NES Punk. Like, they can be kind of, like, weird sometimes, but, they're like YouTubers that are like a bit more mainstream. Like, I like The Quartering a lot more than Pat the NES Punk. But one of the things that The Quartering has been talking about is like a lot of these Twitter people are like getting like super political when it comes to their gaming stuff. So it's like, if I'm going to be political, I want to try to say like what I believe and why I believe it, and not like come off as like a raging, unthinking ideologue, But you know what, like, bothers me about, like, people like The Quartering or Pat the NES Punk or Tipster? Like, they're, charismatic guys to watch. They're knowledgeable about their content, but they focus, like, too much on gossip, Like someone like Kid Show Ryuken or Guy Jillionaire, they're just, like, more... Or, like, the old, like, classic game room stuff. Or Classic Gaming Quarterly, like those are much more like, oh, here's someone who likes what I like and is talking about it, Although it is kind of fun. It's like, oh, this Twitter girl is doing something insane. Let me see this lunacy here, But that's not good content. What is the hardest game you ever beat? And what's the easiest game you've ever beat? That is the hardest game I ever beat was Art of Fighting 2. That is without question the hardest game I've ever beat. The easiest game, because Art of Fighting 2 is freaking insane. Like, once you figure out the AI patterns, you can manage it. But figuring out those AI patterns is insane, and the only reason I figured them out is because Santino wanted to play it so much that I just kept sticking with it out of love for him. And eventually I figured it out. Now, Art of Fighting 2 on the Super Famicom is not that bad, but Art of Fighting on the AES is just insanely difficult. And the only reason I was able to beat it is because I was able to set it to 1 round. Because I don't know if I could, like, what 2 rounds on that would have even been. But anyway, the easiest game I've ever beaten, man. That's a good question that I don't even know if I can answer. I'd have to really think about it. Because you don't really think about easy games that much. So I'd have to really come back and think about that. Easy games I've beaten. I mean, this is an easy game. I mean, it requires skill, but I've got infinite continues here. But easy game... Nah, I can't... I don't want to just say something. So I'd have to take a pass on the easy game and come back and think about it. I'll talk about it in the next video or later on in the stream. But yeah, definitely Art of Fighting 2 is the hardest game I've ever played. The original Street Fighter, Sagat, is ridiculous. I've had to use save states to beat him. I actually beat Geese on Art of Fighting 2 without a save state, though. So... I think we have relatively similar user base. I'm trying to read what Arrow's saying. Okay, I'm going to pause this here. Okay, hang on. I'm going to pause so I can read what you guys are saying. I think we have a relatively similar user base for the time being. Anything that's controversial is probably something that won't necessarily be... Darn, I can't see everything that everyone's writing. Sorry, guys. Seems like everyone here is just trying to have a good time. Yeah, no, agreed. Yeah, we're all chill here, man. I'm just trying to be, like, sensitive to people's views. But, cool. Do you have Super Smash Brothers? I have the Super Smash Brothers on Nintendo 64. And that is the only Super Smash Brothers I have, which is ridiculous because that's a very well-liked game, and I do like it. But I'm one of those people that usually ends up buying the Nintendo console as, like, the 3rd console of the generation. So, like, I'll usually, like... This is how things work out for me. I usually end up buying a Sony console, somehow end up getting a Microsoft console that I didn't plan on getting, and then I'm like, oh, okay, well, I need to get the Nintendo console now. So, you know, I usually am not... like playing like the Smash Brother games because I don't usually get the, like, for example, like I got Switch for Christmas this year, and I freaking love it. It's freaking amazing, but like I haven't owned it enough to be like into the Super Smash Brothers, like, dude, you got to get this new Super Smash Brothers character kind of thing. The other thing about Super Smash Brothers is, while I like it a lot, it's not the kind of fighting game that I do to relax. You know, I'm much more of a Street Fighter Tekken style guy. Do you attend any anime conventions or Comic Cons in your area? I attend and draw at the Heroes and Villains Comic Con in Cortland, New York. And I very much enjoy that convention. I have been to some conventions in Ithaca, New York that are cool, but I've never done any, like, cosplay or anything. The convention in Cortland, the Heroes and Villains Con, that I draw at, I never get a chance to do any cosplay because I'm always drawing there. Don't panic, I have a bad hunch. Oh, crud, we're fighting the space baby. This game makes a powerful pro-life argument here. For how lucid babies are in utero. Not only can they fire in all directions, they can track your movement too. He's also super cute. I feel bad about fighting him. But he's apparently trying to kill me, so I don't have much of a choice here. So this has that 2001 Space Odyssey Space Baby trope here. Jeez, what is that? It's like shooting neon sperm at me or something. Dude, here's the deal. This game came out on the Neo Geo AES. Will you take a look at this game and how good it looks? And know that the AES came out in 1990? Like, this is using pre-rendered graphics like Donkey Kong Country. And it's just doing such a ridiculously good job with it. Have you ever visited other countries? I have sadly not visited any other countries. Like I said, I would love to go to Italy and meet my family, because I have a lot of family in Italy. I have a half-brother and half-sister in Italy I've never met. Uh-oh, the baby's out and he's attacking me! Freaking space baby and his lasers. Oh, great. Now the space baby's got a gun arm. He's turning into Barrett from Final Fantasy VII here. In fact, I wonder if this is Barrett from Final Fantasy VII. They can, like, do some kind of, like, some prequel, cryptic, you know, tie together, you know, cross-franchise thing here. Oh, he dropped the gun arm. Now he's transforming into a giant asteroid. Ooh. See, Diego, part of me was like, maybe Blazing Star is the easiest game I've ever played, and then I thought to myself, like, despite the fact that this has infinite continues, it's still very difficult. Yeah! Have you ever been to California? I would love to go to California. I have not been to California. I'd love to go to California. California seems like a cool place with a lot of things to do and see and nice weather. My best friend's brother lives in LA. And he had a giant Whitesnake poster in his bedroom. And I love Whitesnake. This poster looked really funny, though, because it just had, like, all the Whitesnake guys with their, like, gigantic hair and leather pants. And my best friend and I used to just go in there and, like, I out of, like, a combination of admiration and absurdity, would laugh at that poster. Anyway, I ended up getting the poster. But he lives in LA and has come across David Coverdale multiple times. So, that is fantastic. I love Whitesnake. Is this love that I'm feeling? Here I go again on my own. Little sister hits the stage. Something, something, she's coming of age. Will this space baby go down, gosh darn it? This is ridiculous. How many forms does this thing have? You beat it. Your skill is great. There we go. Blazing Star looks very difficult. It is difficult, but I've got auto fire and infinite continues, so it's making it so I can beat the game, which I think we actually just did. I think we just beat this game. Gosh, we've been streaming for an hour and 43 minutes. Time really flies when you're having fun. It was destroyed. Brashella, the evil weapon, as the ringleader now, it has brought the end of interplanetary war between Rumuria and Murtras by soldiers who wake up to the human heart. Also, people have been captured by Brashella is liberated. Peace must come back soon. The soldiers go away to seek a place where they can live in peace with a strong wish that such a war never break out again. I love Japanese English. It's like, here's English, we get the point across, but say everything in a very bold way. And that, my friends, is the Blazing Star. Have you ever been to New York City? I have been to New York City. I went to New York City. You beat it! Yes, my skill is great. I went to New York City on a field trip where I was chaperoning a bunch of 8th graders. Um, I did not drink coffee that morning, which was a horrible mistake because I had a pounding headache and I was in a bus full of 8th graders. But the trip itself was actually awesome. I loved seeing what I saw in New York City. I liked the hustle and bustle. I loved the neon lights. I loved the stores we got to go to. I got to do some of the tourist stuff, like go to Top of the Rock and just talk with cool people from the city. So I loved New York City. So New York City is a place that I have been, but I think I like Boston better because Boston has got that big city feel crossed with a small town feel. So if there was any city I would want to hang out in regularly, it would be Boston. So, I'm trying to think. We should play at least one more game. I mean, we started this live stream a lot earlier than the others. Like, I think the last live stream we started like late at night, and then we streamed till like 1 in the morning. But I'm thinking we might want to play some Samurai Pizza Cats. Actually, I was saying like we should play some King of Fighters 94. But I don't think we've played much in the way of platformers on this channel in terms of our live streams here. So I'm thinking we're going to play some Samurai Pizza Cats on the Famicom. So it's some good stuff. Now the Samurai Pizza Cats that I have has been a bit localized to better help American audiences, adjust to the game. And this game was never actually officially released in the United States, but my very, very understanding and nice wife got me this homemade cartridge off of Etsy of Samurai Pizza Cats that was translated into English. I should show you guys my Famicom games. Let's do that right now. The end. Okay, so I've been to New York City a couple times. Yankees, Times Square, pretty cool. Yes. I'm a Mets fan though, so you can go to hell if you like the Yankees. I'm just kidding. I actually you know what I really like? I like Yankees baseball hats. I don't like the team. I respect the team. And when my grandpa was very sick in the hospital, I used to sit and watch Yankees games with him. I'm a huge fan of Ichiro Suzuki, who played on the Mariners and the Yankees. And for whatever reason, I love Yankees baseball hats, and I think that's because I really like the rapper Puff Daddy and the Notorious B.I.G., and they always wore Yankee hats. Okay, so this right here is the most expensive game I've ever bought. It's a custom-made NES Famicom game for Metal Slater Glory, which is a text-based mech RPG, and it's really crazy, pushes the limits graphically of the NES Famicom. This is another text-based game, and I'm actually waiting on a new copy of it. This is Dreadful Biomonster Jesus. So here's the deal with this game. This game was custom made for me, but the text is all out of sync, so I'm getting a new one made, and I'm expecting that any day now. So that's pretty expensive. Not that game was like $60, but Metal Slater cost a lot. But that game costs like, if you get an official Famicom version of that game, it even goes for more. So, Okay, I went to the game because my dad said, let's go, and I went. Haha. Yeah, no, I would go to a Yankees game if someone said, let's go to a Yankees game. I'm just kidding. No, I have a lot of respect for the New York Yankees, but my favorite baseball player is the New York Mets, Bobby Bonilla, right here. So, and he is still getting paid every year $1 million because the Mets realized what a mistake it was to bring him back, so they bought out the rest of his contract. So, but he deserves every penny because the fans treat him like crap, and he tries hard. So, all right, let's play some Samurai Pizza Cats here. Do. I'm a huge fan of the Famicom. It is the maybe prettiest system there is. I have a Famicom and a top loader NES that is identical looking to the Famicom 2 model. So this is going through an RF switch. This is going to AV,
And so we're going to be playing those right now. I'm just going to get the camera set up. We're going to play this on the AMDEC Color One monitor, where dreams come true. The AMDEC Color One monitor is the best monitor I think you can use for composite video gaming. You don't really see much in the way of that dot crawl you can get with some composite games. So, I love that Apple sticker. Good stuff. Another reason we're going to play this on the top-loading NES rather than the Famicom is because the controller is going to be much longer, and as much as I love the Famicom, its controller cords are pretty short. Alright, here we go. Remember, the rescue team is always ready to help you out. Very good. This game has got great music and very smooth gameplay. What do you think about the new Sonic movie that came out? I loved it. I didn't get to see it in theaters, but I liked it. I ordered it on one of those movie streaming services, and I watched it, and I liked it from start to finish. I think it might be my favorite. Video game movie. I'm going to hit the lights so we get a little bit sharper picture here. So in my opinion, this is one of the best Famicom games right here. It's very fun to play. It's very vibrant. Maybe we should leave the lights on, actually. We're getting a worse picture without it. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's better with the lights on. Alright. So this game is like authentically going through an RF switch. So it's going through a JVC VCR through this computer monitor here. Okay, so cool, smooth platforming action right here. Vibrant, chibi graphics. This is the Famicom at its best right here. Like super, super charming, well-crafted, catchy music. Like, watching this, you can totally understand why the Famicom was the most popular console in Japan and so iconic. I mean, you really get to see, like, why the PC Engine, you know, kind of did the style of games that they did, because, you know, they were trying to do what the Famicom could do better. You know, there are some people that say they don't like RF Switch, but it does create kind of a nice warmth to the picture here. But, I mean, you know, I'm all about my SCART video when possible. I just like to have different video options. Alright, so now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to tag in this cat here. There you go. He can smash through rocks. Yeah, the original Sonic design was hideous, but the new Sonic design for that movie was really cute. And the story of that movie was really cool, too. It was just it was funny, man. It was like, it treated the characters with respect, and it was just, it was legitimately funny. Like, there's several times where, you know, I just was like, wow, this is funny, and I'm enjoying this. Favorite food to eat? Wow. Green Arch angel hair pasta with homemade meatballs. And I also really like New York style pizza. I like lobster. I love ramen noodles. Maybe I gotta be careful about ramen noodles though, because those are bad for your blood pressure. But dude, oh my god, I have to do a review of this great episode of Jetman called Cup Noodle. In fact, I might just straight up do that after this live stream. It's literally like there's this nerdy guy who likes the blue Jetman girl, and he
basically is obsessed with ramen noodles. He collects them like baseball cards, and he basically gets tricked by this giant ramen monster to basically make these ramen noodles that make people go crazy if they wait for anything for more than a minute. And then he basically like realizes what's happening and basically helps the Jetman beat him. And then of course like the girl starts to like him at the end, which is good. It's nice to see the nerdy guy get the girl. So, but yeah, no, it was. I'm gonna like do a review of that episode very soon. So actually, another thing I love is Yakisoban. Not just the kind of noodle, but the character from Nissan, right? Saigata Sanshiro came back for their commercials, so... Actually, Jetman, the Super Sentai series, actually maybe I shouldn't be surprised about the Cup Noodles episode. Oh my god, we're watching part of that in this live stream. Like, after Samurai Pizza Cats, I'm putting on part of that episode, and we better not get any kind of copyright notification for it. But that, dude, oh my god, I freaking love Jetman. It's it's, the character, it's got you see where the tropes of Power Rangers came from when you watch Jetman. And the character of Guy is so freaking cool. Like he's like Wolverine, but he plays the saxophone and dresses like Don Johnson. Is it on tape? No, actually, it's on a streaming channel called Tubi, Tubi. If you have like a smart TV or a Roku, you can find it on that. I'm actually really happy the way this game is coming across on the screen here. There is a Jetman Famicom game that I really want to get. So I'm, planning on getting that at some point. I actually really wanted to get the Kunio-kun Double Dragon combo pack on my Switch, but I spent too much money early on in this paycheck, and I don't want to spend any more. So I didn't spend that much, but I've got, student loans are terrible, so that a good chunk of my money goes to student loans, and then we got to have money to live on too. So I have to wait till the next paycheck. So my fiscal responsibility. I don't think the Sentai series ever got any Western releases. I don't think it did either, because of the Power Rangers stuff. But if you have Pluto TV on either Roku or Vizio or just whatever kind of streaming app you like to use, Pluto TV has a channel called Tokushotsu that plays all the Super Sentai series in various loops. Like right now, it's playing a lot of Carman and Kaku Ranger, and then it'll play like some Kamen Rider too, and some Ultraman. But it plays a lot of Sentai during the day, and that's usually that and Anime All Day are the channels I have on in the background the most. It just kind of depends on who has what on, but I was really, really into Jetman. I fell in love with that show. And then they canceled it. They didn't cancel it. They swapped it out for another series. And then I found out that you could find the rest of the series on this thing called Tubi, which is another app that's a streaming service. And it's got Jetman, and it's great. So I know that some of my favorite characters don't make it through the series though, which kind of bums me out. But I don't actually know how it all ends particularly. I just kind of know. I've heard some of my people I like don't make it through the series, so. But I don't know the details. But Jetman has a great opening by Hinorobu Kagayama. Both opening and closing are great. When I dabbled with Sentai, a lot of older stuff was extremely difficult to find. Yeah, I know for sure they made a big remastering of Zeo Ranger. I don't know if they went farther than that. I don't know, but they have Zeo Ranger on Tubi. I know that for sure. Who do you like more, and who's the funniest from Hey 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 Music Champ, Machan or Hamachan? I like Machan better. But Hamachan's music with TK is awesome. And I have that When Dreams Come True drama that he did. so on my YouTube channel, I have the opening credits to that. So like, I like Hamachan's style more, and I like his music, but I think Machan is funnier just because I like the fact that he has like really good comedic timing, and I like his suit and his buzz cut. You know, it plays off Hamachan well. So, but Machan, I like his comedic tone better, but Hamada has some really cool stuff as well. I love them both. Hey, Music Champ. I looked forward to that so much every Sunday on International Channel. Sunday was the highlight of my week. I mean, I'm Catholic, so like church is the most important thing. But like, it would be like church, grocery shopping with my grandpa, and then when I'd get back home, it would be International Channel time. And I would watch Hey Music Champ, Dragon Ball, drama, and then anime, and it was just great stuff. Oh, hey, Kendron's here. Actually, I shouldn't say Kendron. There's a delay. So, all right, hello. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. So, thank you for stopping by the stream, my friend and student right here. So, we are playing Samurai Pizza Cats, which is a very cool Famicom game, and we are at the boss here. This giant fish head thing. We have played several games, basically Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, which we almost beat, and then we played Blazing Star, a shmup spaceship shooter for the Neo Geo. We played that through the Xbox One, and we did beat that. And now we are playing the Famicom and playing some Samurai Pizza Cats. Machan is always hits and smacks. Yeah, no, I like the... Yeah, good. I'm happy you like Street Fighter. Yeah, dude, I love how Hamachan smacks people on the head. There's a really funny TMRE, like Team Revolution, the whole like the artist formerly known as Team Revolution thing that he did. The end of Genesis TMR Evolution Turbo Type D, Turbo Type Daisuke Asakura. Anyway, there's a really funny TMRE where he and Hamada are smacking each other back and forth. Yes, Starchy. I highly recommend you play Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. How long is the stream going to go for? I have no idea. It's led to 2 hours organically, and I guess when we just kind of think it's a good time to wrap up, we will. We have been going for a while, so I don't think it'll go that much longer. But I mean, as long as people are having a good time, we can still keep it going. I tend not to. I don't really have any schedule for these. It's just kind of whenever I get some free time. And I was actually just telling these guys earlier that I actually finished grading your class's work a little early, so that gave me some time to do some streaming and some video games. Which let that be a lesson to you and your classmates. Get your work done and then play your games. Not that I'm sure you do that. I'm not making any accusations here. So. Dude, okay, here's the thing, too. Like, I'm, not opposed to the American dub of Samurai Pizza Cats. I think it's funny. But I like, from what I've seen, the Japanese a bit more. But, so there's this really cool channel called Retro Crush. And, what do I think about... And they've got only the American dub of Samurai Pizza Cats. What do I think of Versus Arashi and Music Station? I like Versus Arashi. I love Music Station. Versus Arashi seems fun. I haven't seen that much of it. But I love Music Station. Tamori is, one of my favorite celebrities ever. He's just the coolest freaking guy. Have I ever tried Twitch? No. I think I signed up for Twitch, and then I never figured out what to do or didn't put the effort into learning. So I have not tried Twitch. Twitch seems like it's got a lot of drama in it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it just seems like it's I don't know. It seems like it's got some kind of crazy people there, whereas like, I don't know, like YouTube I've already kind of got, like, people are already subscribing to my channel, and it just seems like a little bit more of a chill platform. But I'm not, like, opposed to Twitch at all. I mean, I think it's cool. And I actually think, I think live streaming is a good way to, if you're into it, build up your communication skills, your analysis skills, and it's just a good way to learn how to be a pleasant social human being. That you can learn what you like and why you like it, and learn how to communicate with people. And you can figure out how to. If you're one of those like pretty girls, you can figure out how to guilt guys into giving you money too. So that's a thing. So there you go. Guys, I want $5 now. Do this for me. What have you done for me lately? Give me money. Money now. Man, what am I supposed to do here? Please don't tell me I'm stuck. Oh, there we go. Never smashing through this stuff here. It always amazes me, like, how a console like the Famicom/NES could have such ridiculously catchy music, despite being, it's a pretty limited in terms of its, hardware power, but the tracks it could come up with were just great. And the chibi graphics are very charming and warm, This has got such ridiculously smooth gameplay. You should start doing comics. Like drawing the comics live? Like, do you want me to do, like, a live drawing? Yeah, no, I do. Okay, so, dude, there is a comic book contest, and it is for something called Silent Manga. That Kodansha, this Japanese manga company, they do a contest a couple times a year. And I've got an idea in my head for a manga, and I want to draw it, and I really am, like, on the verge of just getting started on it almost immediately. So my working idea is, so I don't know if you guys know this or not, but in the town I live in, one of the parks was overrun with rats. And it was a park that my son and I like to go to, so he literally couldn't go to the park because of rats. So this is supposed to be the theme of the comic book contest is supposed to be like fictional animal creatures. So what I think I'm gonna do is do a comic book about how my son and I want to go to the park, but it's overrun by these giant rats. And so we try to sneak in and play basketball, but then like one of the rats like steals our ball, and I have to box the rat to get it back. And like I'm losing, but my son throws a cheese stick, which distracts the rat, and then I end up knocking him out, and that's the end of the comic. That's my working idea. It might sound stupid though, so I can revise it or just come up with something else. But I think that's kind of like a silly, fun, relatable thing. Maybe the rat knocks me out and my son drags me home. I don't know. So I know the park, but not saying. And that would be a good comic. Thank you. Wait, what park? I didn't know. It's not the case anymore, so I guess I will say it. Well, I'll say its location. It's on the east side of town. And I guess what ended up happening was this nice older lady would like put food out. I don't know if this is true or not. This is what I heard. This nice older lady would put food out for neighborhood cats, which is a cool thing. I'm not like opposed to that at all. It's a very nice thing to do. Feral cats are, not, despite what Chrono Cross will tell you, are not always like rabid lunatics, Sometimes they're just like cute cats. They're a little skittish, and they don't have a home, and they just want to be taken care of, So this older lady, I guess, would like put like milk out for the cats and stuff. And I guess I don't know this 100%, but I think what happened was like rats started to like go there and overrun the place. And there's like a certain kind of mulch in the park that I guess the rats could kind of hide in, and that just kind of went crazy. So does it start with a D? Yes. It's also the name of a show on Showtime about a serial killer. But that problem has since been solved, And I actually went back to go, my son and I would go back and play basketball and stuff, so it's a nice place for sure. This is one of the most entertaining streams I've seen in a long time. Well, there's like other ones, man. Like I've done like this is my third stream, I think. So if you want to go check out the YouTube channel, we've got a couple other streams up. So the first stream, the camera was backwards because it was the first time I'd ever streamed. The second stream, the app I was using sucked. So the text I couldn't read until after I uploaded it on YouTube. I felt like no one was on the stream, and I was like, well, whatever. I'll just play for an hour and just kind of chat. And so then like I uploaded it on YouTube, and like I saw like all these, like not all, but like not a lot, but like all the people that are here and a couple more were commenting. And so then I did like a couple of response videos, and then I just got a new app called Prism, which is actually really good. It's very responsive, and actually if I wanted to, I could actually start throwing up like weird filters and drawing on the screen and adding other things. So it's got a lot of bells and whistles. So it looks like we're getting the science of this streaming stuff down, which is nice. I think it's either the 4th or 5th. I think this is the 4th stream. Actually, you're right, Arrow. Arrow's been here for all of them. Like, a lot of the people that are here, they're my kind of people, right? They're like, nice people who like anime and video games, and we just kind of chill and talk about, music and obscure stuff, and, like, really appreciate the style of anime and video games, and, Super Sentai / Power Rangers, occasionally go into some rants about professional wrestling. We ended up getting a little political tonight, went on a semi-philosophical rant while playing Blazing Star, which was, fun. So yeah, good time was had by all. Is had by all. Now, I missed one of them. Yeah, you get picked on for liking anime in school. That's such BS, man. You know what? Okay, dude, here's the thing, man. All right? So this is my take on that, and I'm not a student. But, like, you should just be yourself, like what you like, and, you don't have to, like, necessarily talk about anime with, like, everyone, like, I can like anime and go out and hang out with my friends in a variety of settings, and if, someone likes anime and they know that you like anime, like, that's cool, and you can talk to them about anime. If not, then, okay, it's not for them, and just talk about something else. And if they're, like, being freaking jerks about you like an anime, then just, like, don't hang out with them, man. Just, like, go do your thing, be successful, and then, then they can just do their thing and be not as cool as you because you're someone who has a wider range of interests and is less jerky. Like, it's not cool to just, like, oh, I'm gonna go make other people annoyed because I can. Like, those kind of people are, they waste their time and they waste other people's time. Like, it's like, you need to try to be both yourself and self-confident and friendly, and that should be kind of the formula I think you should follow. Treat other people properly and be yourself and have enough range socially to be able to engage a variety of people. Like, I would go out, when I was single, like, I'd go out to the, bar. I never got drunk or anything, but I would, like, go out to the bar with my friends and talk to girls and stuff, but, I never hid the fact that I was a giant anime nerd. I didn't, like, that's not what I led with, but it was like, if they ever came back and hung out, they saw my place was, like, filled with anime and video games, so, and if they don't like it, well, go find another one, And if your friends if your friends don't respect what you're into, then, it's like it's a lot easier said than done, but, like, just try to find some cooler people. But, one thing, the thing I don't like about public schools, like, I think Tetsuya was asking me, like, what's a thing that's not, like, what's the easiest and worst thing about teaching? One of the bad things about teaching is just seeing some of the negativity with how kids can treat each other, and it's just, it gets really, like,
it's just not fun to be around. And it's hard, too, because, you know, obviously when you're a kid, it's like you're kind of just in the middle of everything. You're trying to survive, you know, and as a teacher, it's like your job is to try to, you know, basically play referee and help people. So, you know, but just be yourself and be a good person. You lose so much more by being afraid of whatever the hell you like. That's the truth, man. I spent too much time with that middle school mindset. Yeah, agreed. Thick Mr. Krabs. Hey, Thick Mr. Krabs. Thick with several C's, I'm sure. Yeah, no, I mean, I think a lot of, you know, middle school is, I think, unfortunately spent on being insecure. And it's, you know, you don't realize that until you're older. But, like, me looking back, like, middle school, despite the fact that I had these stupid anxieties, was, I think, one of the times in my life that I hang on to the most, because that was also a time where I was, like, super, super happy. Like, it was my most anxious time, but it was also one of my most happy times, because me and my best friends would just, like, we would watch wrestling and play the coolest video games, and just, you know, we were just, like, comfortable and happy with each other, you know? And, like, I'm not joking, the pro wrestling at that time was, like, the freaking best stuff ever, you know? Hollywood Hogan and the NWO, my best friend would call me, like, every Monday night at, like, 7:40, and we would just be on the phone until, like, 11 o'clock at night, and then we just, like, call each other about, like, whatever video games we were playing, and just kind of shoot the breeze and hang out and stuff. It was great. So, it's like, you know, I always try to, you know, history's about continuity and change, and I think life is too, you know, right? So, like, hang on to the good parts of your life, and, you know, but at the same time be willing to grow too, you know? Wow, this is, like, turning into, like, this went from, like, a silly live stream to, like, motivational speeches here. You can lose weight if you believe in yourself. We got the Hulk Hogan juicer over here. I'm not joking, I have a Hulk Hogan juicer here. I think it's cool. Man, the man's got his fair share of luck in that game. Alright. I'm trying to, like, semi-read what Arrow and Starchy are saying back and forth to each other, but I'm also trying to read Samurai Pizza Cats here. Something about my wife. Yeah, my wife is, she's super cool. Thank you for being complimentary here. The day was saved thanks to the samurai. Wait a minute, where's Speedy? Dude, guys, check out, like, this is an 8-bit system here, and take a look at the graphical capabilities of this thing here. Okay, how many levels do we have? Did we beat them all? I think there's like 9 levels in this. Select round 3. Okay, let's go to round 3. Fine. Big Cheese's Big Variety Hour. We should beat this level, and then I will show you guys some Jetman. My son and I sing the opening to Jetman, too. Like, if you like Dragon Ball, again, Hinorobu Kageyama sings the opening to Dragon Ball, and he sings the opening to Jetman, and it's, like, super catchy. Jetto, Jetto, Jettoman. So, you know what else we could stream, too, is, I have, like, right to the left of the Amdeck monitor, I've got, Marvel Superheroes, the arcade cabinet, and that comes with Marvel Superheroes, X-Men Children of the Atom, and the Punisher, and, yeah, Santino is adorable, and he's awesome. We need to get him to 1,000 for real. Yeah, no, I know. It's ridiculous here. YouTube is so unfair. Like, I really like this Prism app, but it's unfair that people under 1,000 subs have to go mine for streaming apps, you know, so. Ooh, space level here. It's not space, it's like some kind of, like, big city. Well, you know, I was telling, you know, I'm a little concerned because I got a copyright strike today for an old Hey 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 Music Champ clip, but so part of me's thinking, like, maybe I should,
like try to like private some of my hey stuff, but then like all that stuff has been up for a long time, and like nobody else has it, man. And like I want to share that stuff with people because I love it, and I want to be. I'm not only do I want to share it with people, I want to for myself be able to watch that on my phone in the palm of my hands too, and I want to be able to share my interests with other people, and like. It's not like anyone here is even buying anything of a, you know, show in Japan that was canceled back in the, like, early 2010s. Sadly, that was ridiculous when Hey got canceled. There's a quota for streaming now? Yeah, you gotta have 1,000 to stream. Yeah, 1,000 subs to stream on YouTube. Like, there is no automatic streaming on YouTube unless you have 1,000 subs. You can stream, I think, with like some kind of like a laptop or webcam or something, but you can't do mobile streaming. So I misspoke. You can't mobile stream, but you can find other ways to stream. That's insane. I know, it's ridiculous. It makes no sense. I don't know why they would do that other than the fact that they're just trying to make it more difficult for people with smaller channels to get traction, because they probably want to streamline their, you know, audience or content to, I don't know, make it more like television or something. But it's ridiculous because the whole point of YouTube is that you have people with a diverse background and diverse access to things, you know, sharing their stuff and forming communities. And it's like increasingly harder to do when it's hard to do mobile streams, and mobile streaming is, you know, one of the most effective ways to stream. Can I fly? There we go. You gotta kind of choose what cat to get to what obstacle. Because, you know, I mostly do review videos, but I just recently started streaming, and, you know, I've always been kind of like, well, do I want to stream? And then I was like, I tried to, like, one time, I was like, I can't even stream if I wanted to here. And now I can't fly here. How did I fly before? I don't know if I can get enough of a run. Ah, come on, run, you idiot. The place used to be the broadcast yourself. Yeah, I know, that used to be the slogan of YouTube. The platform shouldn't limit people that want to grow their content more. I agree, 100%, man. I agree 1,000% with what you're saying. Which is not difficult to disagree with, because it's so obviously right, you know? It's like, I like air and puppies. I disagree. That's a terrible position to take. Can I smash through this stuff? I hate it when these old games have these things like this where you get stuck in something like very, very simple. And this is why they had 1-900 numbers back in the day for you to... I'm stuck in this video game, help me out. Now you can just go on the internet, it's much easier. I'm gonna turn the contrast down on this, make it easier for you guys to see what's going on here. I tweeted you out, so expect getting people. Yeah, you've got crazy power, man. I think you got me up to 700, so. Come on, there we go, fly. Ah, darn it, come on, man. Freaking you stupid cat. Oh, man, we died. Can you show this? Can you show us your controller? This is my controller right here. This is what's known as the dog bone controller for the top-loading NES/Model 2 Famicom. But I'm not taking credit here. Old games are a lot more harder than today's new games. Tetsuya, you are 1,000% correct. But actually, Samurai Pizza Cats, compared to some of the older games, is actually very playable. Not that older games aren't playable, but you know what I'm saying. They're less... there, we did it. Come on. Where's the boss? Santino says, it's the boss! It's the final boss! Fly, 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 fly. Ah, darn it! Oh, good, I didn't die. I might, though.
I've heard this game is very similar to Darkwing Duck, but I've actually not played that game. Okay, here we go. Come on, come on, come on. I'm sorry that this is this level has got a particularly dark background and it's not helping. It's not showing up very well on the camera. There we go. That's much better. Pokemon or Digimon? Pokemon. I agree. Digimon's got some really cool music though. But I do like Pokemon's music as well. Favorite J-pop singer? Team Revolution. Takanori Nishikawa. I'm a huge Team Revolution fan. I also very much like, oh wow, there's a lot of J-pop singers I like. Oh shoot, it's the boss. All right, let me talk about my favorite J-pop singers after I beat this boss here. I'm gonna pause this here and try to lower the contrast and brightness so you can see this a bit better here. All right, there we go. I don't like J-pop that much. Yeah, give it a chance. I mean, everyone's different. I'm huge into TM Network too. They're a group though, you know. Ayumi Hamasaki, obviously. Gact is an early favorite of mine. I like Globe quite a bit. I love Daisuke. I've got like a Daisuke Asakura video game. I've got an Amuro Nami video game for the Sega Saturn. I think I should actually show you guys the Amuro Nami video game, but I gotta lower the volume because you end up getting like not strikes, but you end up getting your YouTube video ends up getting problems because of the music in that game. We gotta start all the way back from the beginning. All right, we've played this game a bit. We're gonna mix it up a bit. I love this game though; it's really good. DC or Marvel? Marvel. But I like DC too. I'm not like one of those people that's like, screw one company or the other. I like them both. Okay, I'll show you some of my Japanese CDs here. Okay, so this right here is X-Men. The Ambiance is the group that did it. This is the opening to the Japanese version of X-Men. There are a lot of J-pop singers you like. Or 90s 2000-ish. Did they show up on the music channel? Yes, a lot of it was Hey 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 Music Champ, and that was my introduction to J-pop. That's how I got into J-pop. Well, Dragon Ball and like other animes got me into like J-pop through the opening and closing credits, but Hey 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 Music Champ is what really started to introduce me to an increasing diversity of singers. This is Wild Rush. This is a TM Revolution single. It's really, really good. This is another X-Men single. Yeah, lol, I figured. X-Men single. This is Back to You. This is the closing credits to the X-Men anime. This is Daisuke Asakura's. He did backup synth for TM Network. This is Access here. They're kind of like a group that appeal to girls, but they've got some really cool synth pop. So Access is a cool group. For J-pop. Let's see what else I got for my J-pop CDs here. Let's see. Okay, so we have the Earthian soundtrack, so I'm sure Diego will like that. This is a really good soundtrack from the Earthian OVA. We've got TM Revolution's album Vertical Infinity. Music Station and Tamori were huge in exposing me to J-pop. And also, you know what's cool about the opening to Music Station is Tak Matsumoto from Bees did the opening, that guitar solo. That's called 1090. This is a cool CD I got. Nami Tamaki, she did some Gundam music. Can I play the Final Fantasy VII Remake? Yes, I can, but I've got my PlayStation in the other room, so I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'll do that for the next stream. If you want, I can play the HD remastered version of Final Fantasy VII, and I can play the remake for the next stream. I'll get the PlayStation set up in here. Larkin CL is another really good J-pop group. And then TM Network is my favorite Japanese band, and I actually have one of their records framed in my game room, so cool. All right, so if you guys want to see Final Fantasy VII HD, we can totally do that. But before we do that, why don't I show you guys a little bit of Jetman, and then we'll play some Final Fantasy VII. And we've been doing this for 2.5 hours, which has been actually a lot of fun for me. Time flies when you're having fun, but probably after Jetman and Final Fantasy, we should probably wrap it up. So you have a quite nice. It's quite nice to look at all of the physical collections of media you have. Cool, I'll give you a tour. So we have a cool iMac that I have loaded with J-Pop and the tea I was drinking here. Santino likes to play with my Street Fighter toys. This is the Chun-Li G.I. Joe. Much of what I have is digital. While it conserves a lot of space, doesn't conserve a lot of space. There's no memorabilia. Yeah, no, I mean, like, digital's cool too, man. Like, it's all good. Like, I mean, just do like get what's convenient for you. If you like collecting physical things, go for it. But if you can see things, and if digital is the way you can get things, definitely get digital. So one of the viewers here gave me this very cool statue that adorns my TV with other Dragon Ball statues. Professional video monitor, record player, Mario poster, Link poster, Mountain Dew Xbox, VCR, DVD recorder. This upscales video to look very nice. Really good PVM. This is what I play most of my old video games on. 4K TV. And then we've got this setup here for our consoles. So it's cool stuff. Everyone's got their own shelf. So, and we've been playing a lot of Xbox Ones. As a student, it's not easy to get a lot of physical stuff, especially without the largest amount of money. Yeah, for sure. Understood. You got Android 18 hentai-looking statue. It's not hentai. She's just, she's very curvaceous, She's fully clothed. It's not hentai. And I'm not here to judge or recommend. Noel, you are one of the very few people besides Tetsuya and myself that have a good knowledge of J-pop music, live shows, and its hosts. Thank you. I love J-pop. In fact, I literally have this burned episode of Music Station from 1987 in my reach right here. It's also got some slam dunk stuff on it. She's just very physical. She's just a very appealing figure. Yeah. Oh, you know what other cool figure I have is hang on. Well, you know that comic shop I do conventions at? They had this like weird Sailor Moon figure, so I got that. But this like Mega Man is really cool because he hang on. He like does music, Mega Man. All right. Okay, let's watch some Jetman and then play some Final Fantasy VII. So I'm gonna actually put Jetman on this TV, and Jetman I've actually got through Roku. I've got a video on the channel of how we have our convoluted process of putting Roku on a very good standard definition television. So long story short, run a HDMI to S video converter, then an S video converter to a component video converter, and that'll let you play your Roku in 480i component. Good stuff. Okay, you have the best looking indoor house ever. Thank you. I enjoy it. The first console we are going to play when it comes is the Mountain Dew Xbox. Yes, it's very cool. This is the Mountain Dew Xbox. All right. Ooh, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures on right now. But we're not going to watch that right now. Like, I literally have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure stickers all over this TV. Okay. So, where's Jetman? Continue watching. And then we'll go to episode list, and we'll go to Cup Noodle here. So yeah, if you have a Roku and Tubi, you should check it out. Will you ever vlog outdoors when this quarantine is over? Sure. Yeah, sure thing. I actually have a plug on my front porch. We could actually game outside. Okay, let me, this is the opening to Jetman here. I don't want to wake up my family. Is this not, like, the coolest thing ever? JoJo's really getting big right now for some reason. The reason is it's beautifully drawn and the stories are, like, crazy engaging. And just also crazy. Yeah, the red Jetman's cool, but Guy is the best. Oh, there's everyone's crush, the pink Jetman. I like the chubby, nerdy sumo wrestler. There's the Jetman Blue. She's spunky and cute. Now, the Guy is the freaking goat Jetman. He's the coolest Power Ranger ever. Yes, this is J-pop. This is Hinorobu Kageyama. This looks like Power Rangers because this is what Power Rangers is. Yes, it kind of is. So, Power Rangers was based on these series and redubbed into English with English actors. So, yeah, the plot to this episode is great. It's called Cup Noodles, and yeah, so this like hilarious nerdy guy is obsessed with ramen, has a crush on the blue Jetman. The guy's got some stylish glasses. Then I love J-pop, I didn't realize it. Yes, you do love J-pop, and you didn't know it. This is like one of these episodes I can just like watch and watch and watch. Hang on, let's see if the like bad ramen noodle guy comes. See, that's the key. If she just sees your cool ramen noodle collection, she'll like you. So the key to this ramen noodle guy is he needs hot water or he loses his strength. That's how they beat him. And this episode just keeps getting better from here. So definitely check out Jetman and check out the episode Cup Noodles because it's the best thing ever. Okay, so to wrap up this live stream, why don't we play through the opening to the HD, not remake but remaster of Final Fantasy VII. And then because you guys seem so interested in playing the Final Fantasy VII remake, and the only reason I have not beaten the Final Fantasy VII remake is because I'm afraid I'm going to just get totally swept up in it and not be able to get anything done. So I have been procrastinating about starting to play the Final Fantasy VII remake. But I definitely need to play that because Final Fantasy VII is literally my favorite video game. And it's the video game that introduced me to RPGs, as many people in their mid to late 30s who kind of came of age in the mid to late 90s. Yes, Diego, Power Rangers did originate from Japan. Thank you for enlightening our viewers. Yep, yeah, Power Rangers is a show that uses Japanese footage from a series called Super Sentai. And they basically take American actors and splice them in to that show. and use the action footage in the American actor show. Now, the original Power Rangers was so good that they actually redubbed it in Japanese in Japan, because it got to be so popular and became a phenomenon. And as Arrow was saying, the original Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, is based on a series called ZU Ranger. So, yes. All right. Set up our camera like so. We're going to play the Final Fantasy VII Remaster on the Xbox. Interesting how widely acclaimed it is. Maybe they just got the target audience right. Dude, I freaking love the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. The characters are cool. The stories are cool. I mean, it's very similar to Jetman. Like, the tropes are all there. They got the cool Black Ranger, the pretty prissy Pink Ranger, the spunky girl Ranger, the nerdy Ranger, the cool guy Ranger. So that's, I think, one reason why I like Jetman so much. So, all right, Final Fantasy VII. I'm going to hit the lights, so we're going to play some of this. So again, for those of you who think that Godzilla or Gamera, Godzilla, but I'm not that huge of a connoisseur, but I do like that type of movie. Power Rangers was created by Koichi Sakamoto. Awesome. White Ranger is the best. Yes, I love White Ranger. Zeo is really cool. After Tommy became the White Ranger, Jason became the Gold Ranger in Zeo. And isn't the opening to Jetman like insanely good? Like, I love that song. Okay. So yes, I have a nice collection of Japanese games on my Xbox, so they might not sell well in Japan, but they try their hardest, and I benefit from it. So let's play some Final Fantasy VII, quite possibly the greatest game ever made. Not only did it say that on the back of the Final Fantasy VII CDs for PlayStation, it's just the truth. So it's just a fantastic game. I actually have been in contact with a guy on Etsy who is in the process of trying to get me a originally made dub of Dragon Quest IV that basically uses the Japanese title screen, and it's just a bit closer to the Japanese version than the one that was released in the US known as Dragon Warrior. He left the team yeah, okay, so Jason left, then he came back, but Tommy became the leader. Yes, that is true. Is the Xbox One region free? I think it is. And I know the PS4 is region free as well. So if you pop a Japanese game in your PS4, I believe you can play it. So, yes. But I don't know about I'm pretty sure the Xbox One is the same. He left the team and yeah. I'm sorry, Starchy. I agree with you. I saw your comment. Tommy becomes the leader after Jason leaves, and then Jason becomes the Gold Ranger when Tommy is the leader of the Zeo Rangers. Alright, as much as I love that haunting tune. The Livestream. Okay, so my team in Final Fantasy VII that I use the most is Cloud, Barret, and Aeris. And then, I don't want to spoil this for anything, but this game came out in 1996, 1997, so you probably know what happens to Aeris. But when she is no longer playable, Tifa is my third member. I need to replay this game. I have played Final Fantasy VII a lot. I've probably played Final Fantasy VII at least 10 times. It's an RPG that I could play in Japanese and still know what to do because I played it so much.
I think Final Fantasy VII is probably among the most spoiled games out there. Yeah, there's no getting around the fact that everyone knows what happens. But I'm just trying to be sensitive, so. But watch out for those Masamunes, Eris, because they are long and they are sharp, and they may descend from the ceiling. So please, please watch out. Have you seen Final Fantasy VII Advent Children? I have, and I love it very much. I love the closing theme to Advent Children as well. I think that Advent Children, for some reason, people like don't think it's as good as I do, but I think it's deeply underrated. You know what other Final Fantasy thing I think is deeply underrated is Dirge of Cerberus. Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus. I'm not a huge shooter fan, but that's a really good third-person shooter with Final Fantasy VII characters in it. So I'm a big fan of Dirge of Cerberus, Crisis Core, Advent Children, but the original is my favorite. And they do a really nice job with the HD graphics here, with your chibi polygonal characters. So this game looks incredibly smooth. This looks a lot better than it looked on the original PlayStation. Are you making Instagram or Twitter? Wait, I'm sorry, I'm not reading this. All right, have you considered getting a capture card? I think he has one in. You know, okay, so the capture device I've got, my laptop isn't very good. I've got a Chromebook that I have for my job, and then I have a laptop that runs like an absolute mule, and that has a capture device on it, but I've got my consoles all hooked up to monitors and things like that, so, you know, I don't ever really think about unhooking those and then hooking them to a capture device because so much of my game room is all the different monitors that I have. No, I do have a capture card for the international channel stuff, but I mean, I'd have to look into getting a capture card for the consoles, but I'm a little I guess I could unhook them and hook them back up. It shouldn't be that hard, but there is also, I mean, maybe you disagree, but there is also a little bit of charm, I think, shooting the monitors as well, especially when you're, playing these older games on PVMs. You'd need to signal split for that. Oh, yeah. Interesting. I'm not incredibly tech savvy when it comes to streaming methodologies. My tech savviness comes from finding ways to hook up old consoles to 90s video monitors. That's where my area of expertise is. It's like, Noel, did you order another cable? Yes, dear. Ex-soldier, huh? I don't trust you. It's Mr. T with a gun arm, and he's amazing. Playing off a capture card adds delay, unfortunately. That's not good. Well, I don't know. This seems to be working for us. If you guys are like dying to see capture card stuff, I will definitely pursue it. What we'll do here, I think we're gonna actually, we'll speed up the battle for the turn-based RPG action. I'm a big fan of turn-based RPGs. I know some of the younger folk out there might not be as familiar with them, but they're quite good. I really like the kind of, the whole strategy aspect of it, like, watch my spectacular move! Here's my spectacular move, Another great thing I like about Final Fantasy VII is how well they were able to blend, but at the same time dramatically contrast the chibi graphics with the more proportionate manga-style graphics. Really, really good stuff. This game also, I really like the pre-rendered backgrounds. I know some people complain about those, but for me, I think they look great. This your first time in a reactor? No, I did work for Shinra, I pity the fool that works for Shinra. That's exactly what he said. Noel, please watch Why Did You Come to Japan on Dailymotion, which has 2 Japanese hosts interview travelers in Narita. I will absolutely do that. When is our next Zoom? Tomorrow. Tomorrow at 11. Tomorrow at 11. 11 to 11:20 or 11:30. And you don't have to show up to that if you don't want. But you can play. But I'll probably just like play a video game and field your questions. Talk to you about the coming assignment, which is just going to be on Lewis and Clark. So I'll do a video going over the answers to the Thomas Jefferson homework. I really like Jessie. I felt bad that, not to spoil anything, she doesn't make it to the second disc. So never mind, he answered my questions. Are those mandatory there in New York? Never mind, he answered my question. Is what mandatory? Sorry, I didn't see. I was more distracted by the fact that Cloud's not worried about how the planet's gonna blow up here. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get a little bit of glare here on the camera. Zoom meetings. They're not mandatory, but I do them. I basically do them so that the kids can see each other and that I can talk to the kids directly if they have any questions. But my Zoom meetings are more for social, emotional things, and they're kind of like office hours. But I don't actually teach directly through Zoom meetings since the quarantine has been going on. I basically do that through Google Classroom, and then I supplement that with YouTube lectures and Zoom meetings. Our school has been nice about giving us a lot of discretion about how we teach within set standards, especially during this quarantine. Yes, I agree. They're good for having social interactions with students and teachers. That's what I'm using them for. Like, honestly, my last Zoom meeting, I played Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite while I, tried to field kids' questions about homework, so. Because for whatever reason, Santino really likes Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. It's starting to grow on me more, but, I mean, compared to the 2D ones, it's really not as good. Yes, my teachers are really laid back. I mean, my whole thing is I give the kids about 7 days to read 5 pages and answer 20 to 30 questions. That's my deal, and I'll do whatever I can to help them along the way. I'm going to shoot lightning at this one bird thing here. Feels like it gets like that as you get older. Maybe it's a matter of discipline. It's not only a matter of discipline, it's a matter of the maturity of the kids. Because if you're in 11th grade and you're on the verge of going to college and you're not, just out of control, then the teachers are going to treat you more like adults. But if you are harder to control, then the teacher might be using a lot more structure in dealing with you. We're not going to save because I'm not going to turn this into a whole thing, so we'll just run to the boss here. I have weekly work too. Yes, I see. You would already know the expectations that you're... Yeah, I agree. Yeah, by the time you're that age, you kind of know what's expected of you, versus when you're younger, you really have to have everything spelled out for you. But, I mean, honestly, I went to a Christian, evangelical Christian junior high and high school, and that was a great experience for me because it had a very good family atmosphere, and it was very much like going to school in Boy Meets World. You had the same teachers every year, Like you had Mr. Feeney and Mr. Turner every year, but it was like this microcosm of a high school. You had all the essentials of a high school, but everything was just scaled down. And as far as the behavior thing, I mean, and it's not trying to like push religion on anyone here, but because they were a religious school, they had very clear reasons for why they were good people. Like they didn't have to try to hide it or just say, "Hey, be nice." Why? I don't know. They had real reasons for loving and caring for you. As I say that, I'm going to try to blow up this plant that's sucking the Mako energy out of the earth. I'm one of his students. I will agree he's laid back. Thank you. Hopefully not too laid back, but sometimes I might be too laid back. I don't like getting angry. I'm like the Hulk. You don't want me to get angry. You won't like me when I'm angry. I mean, I have no hair, so it's not like I can pull any out. I mean, worst case scenario, I'll like start trying to rip out chest hair, but, I don't want to do that either. It was a really funny Simpsons where it showed how Homer went bald, and he was just like ripping his hair out of stress every time Marge told him she was pregnant. But, by the time my wife was pregnant with our first son, I already started shaving my head, so it was fine. She's like, I could tell it was serious. Because it was the first time in your life you really had nothing to say. Alright, so the key with this thing is attack it with lightning and then don't attack when its tail is up. Yes, I like to feel like I am knowledgeable while being laid back and funny, and then when I have to yell at them, I do. So that is my methodology, essentially. I don't like yelling at them, but sometimes you have to. It's not, I don't like really yell. It's just more like, stern and disciplined, let's get to work or get out kind of thing. Oh, shoot! I put in the attack command while his tail was up. Alright, let's get a potion ready here. Did you take the SATs? I think that's for Rogue Drums. I'll tell you right now, I have all the coursework for a PhD completed. I have 2 master's degrees, and the reason I'm telling you this is, I did not do well on the SATs. So, I mean, the SATs are important for, getting into a nice college right off the bat. Oh, crud, man. Phoenix down, Phoenix down! But if you go to a good community college, you don't have to do well on your SATs. But you have to do well in school. You have to have your act together to do well in college. So you can go to a community college, transfer to a 4-year school. It's all good, though. But I was one of the kids that I just didn't do well on the SATs, but I was a, smart enough kid to, get good grades, and then eventually I ended up getting into a doctoral program. So I'm going to have to heal up here. I'm not telling you not to study for your SATs, though. You should do your best, for sure. The big standardized test I had to take and then ended up doing a good job on was the Grad Rex. Those were kind of like SATs. Ah, come on, man. Don't put your tail up after I put the command in. Please go down. Do you watch Bob's Burgers? Yes. Not as much as The Simpsons, though. Limit break. Oh, no, don't attack. Am I out of potion? Ugh. Braver. Will this thing just die already? There we go. My favorite Bob's Burgers is the one with Banjo, the spaghetti western character. Cloud is on the verge of death here. He has 3 HP, and I'm out of potions. And this place is gonna blow up in 10 minutes. Good thing Barrett's got a lot of health. You can also, if you have an Xbox or PlayStation or Switch, you can get the HD remasters of Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9. And those are all excellent games. But out of those, 7 is my favorite. But 8 and 9 are great as well. Run, 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 run. What do you think about today's Adult Swim on Toonami? I don't watch them. Not because I'm think I'm better than that. I think Adult Swim got too dark and weird. I'm a huge fan of Aqua Teen Hunger Force and C Lab 2020. Or 2021, I mean. But I have just not watched Adult Swim since it just started. It's like, I don't know, some of it just got really kind of just unpleasant with the humor. But if you're into that, that's cool. I liked Robot Chicken well enough. That was kind of the last major thing I watched on the comedy Adult Swim. For the anime Adult Swim, I'll catch it whenever I can. I think the English dubs are not that great, but I watch most of my anime through either Pluto TV or Retro Crush or Crunchyroll. And if I can catch stuff on Toonami when it's on, I watch a lot of Attack on Titan on Toonami. That's how I when Attack on Titan is on Toonami, I always watch it. I know I gotta check out My Hero Academia. Everyone just keeps telling me you gotta check that out. Run, Barrett. Run like the wind, and drag your spiky-haired blonde friend with you, because we're almost out of this reactor. Because Cloud had to attack while the tail was up on that stupid cyber crab. Run, 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 run. Alright, we made it out alive. Dude, I love Toonami, though. I remember watching that April Fools when they reran all the good Toonami stuff with Gundam Wing and Tenchi Muyo. I was practically in tears, man. It was amazing. I taped a lot of Toonami back when it was on after school. I gotta look more into it. Toonami? Yeah, check it out, man. It's good stuff. Alright. Wow, it has been 3 hours. I think that is a good, probably, time for us to round off the stream. It has been our longest stream, but also a very fun stream. So thank you for stopping by, guys. We will do this again in the near future. I think every couple of days or so. I think that's a good, probably loose streaming schedule. So I don't know, maybe Wednesday or Thursday or something, I'll probably hop back on and we'll see where the fun goes. And I'm always uploading, just YouTube videos of the review variety. So, anime reviews, different video game reviews. Dude, stop putting in this freaking thing. Jesse over here is putting in all this. Let me just get out of this here. There we go. All that ticking. Yeah, Errol, I'll stop by whenever I can. I appreciate you coming by. I like talking with you guys. I like talking with all the, your knowledge about Super Sentai and all that cool fun stuff. And you definitely seem to appreciate the retro anime. So check out those OVAs that I recommended. I don't think you'll regret any of them. So cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate being able to share my interests with you and nerding out with you. Last thing here, do you like any Mexican telenovelas or soap operas? I like Rebelde. I actually have a Rebelde DVD somewhere, and I'll dig it out for the next review. But Anahi is crazy good looking.
and I love the music to Rebel Day. So Rebel Day is the telenovela that I know the most and enjoy. Dakota, good night. Thank you very much. Favorite character from Attack on Titan. Oh crap, that's a hard one. Hmm. Prob Levi's like the really tough one, right? With the black hair. Probably him. He would probably be my favorite character from Attack on Titan. So yes, I would say he would be my favorite character on Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan has awesome music too. One time, this girl wore this really like funny Hillary Clinton mask to school, and I was like, that looks like the thing that ate Aaron Yeager's mom, and like everyone thought that was funny. So I actually really like Aaron a lot too. I like one of my favorite scenes is that scene where he like busts in as a Titan for the first time, and like they're like, what's going on? This Titan knows the other Titan's weaknesses and it's fighting on our side. So yeah, probably Aaron might be my favorite actually. So but it's good stuff. Tetsuya, good night. I'm gonna sign off, guys. Thank you so much for all the good times and positivity, and I will see you in the very near future. Get some sleep or play more games. Either way, just try to get a decent amount of sleep when it's time. All right, I will see you all in the very near future. Tune in for future videos and live streams, and you take care. My name is Noel. See you soon.